LOTRO family on Twitter. Please also try to follow us on Facebook. The Facebook group it's a closed group, so you have to apply to it. I don't man that. Another member of LOTRO family does that. But please do support the Facebook page like you do the Twitter stream. So, in the last stream, we managed to get so far into the North Downs. In fact, where we were last time, I think, is we'd got up to Ayrthir, in your absence. Oh, new follower, only they're not in the room yet. That'll be interesting. Only after the stream last time I actually finished off the Ayrthir quests, which are Thorin's Hall reputation quests. So I think I cleared everything that needs to be done in Ayrthir. I will probably have to double check there when I want extra rep, because there's both Rangers of Esteldin rep and Thorin's Hall rep somewhere in that. But we finally have made it to Esteldin. So, and for the first time in the North Downs we have green quests that actually give us some XP. So we'll actually be making progress. Hi Stag, thank you so much for following, that's really appreciated. I'm just downing some tea and getting myself settled. Turn the brightness up here as well so I don't look like I'm sitting in a dark shadow. Right, okay, so we are in Esteldin, we've only just made it here, so we haven't picked up any of the quests that are hiding around here. And we haven't picked up the Epic, because the Epic only starts in Esteldin, so we've had good number of hours getting to Esteldin, but the Epic doesn't start here until you make it here. But so I don't forget, I will in fact pick up the quest from this quest giver. Otherwise, I am likely to forget. There we go. So request.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Because the North Downs is the first time when you properly encounter the Earthkin. You come across them a bit in the Lowlands, but you're not dealing with them for very long. You have quite a bit more to do for them in the North Downs, because you find a camp here, near here, and it's about here, I think. This is these guys, might be. But you get the friendly tribe of Earthkin here, or Jorthkin as they're called, and you've got less than friendly Earthkin guys around here. So it's a proper introduction to meeting them, and that's not the first or last time that you come across them, because there's some in Angmar that I come across as well. So, your efforts are well known amongst all here in Esteldin, Ayrthir. I'm hoping you'll be able to assist me with a small task. Long ago, when I journeyed abroad, I taught Asiko, the chieftain of the Earthkin, in the Western letters. In return, he offered to write me a book describing their leatherworking methods. I need this book to fulfill a promise I made to a man in Trestlebridge, as I came north from Rivendell in the guise of a common leatherworker. I promised to make for his people armour suitable for use against the orcs. Will you go to Asiko and ask for the book? The Earthkin are encamped northeast of here, just skirt the hills northward from the eastern entrance to Esteldin. Now we may or may not make it there this stream, because there's quite a lot to do in this part of the North Downs. Let's go grab the Epic. So I don't forget that. Memory is not my best friend, let's see. Just taking up an offer of a piece of gear from Kinley to write some. My kin are great. I got one of my kinmates to craft me a new outfit. So I had exactly the same outfit for my Lawmaster for absolutely ages, and this is actually a much later outfit that is level 100, but thanks to the joys of Lotro's wardrobe, I've been able to equip it on my Lawmaster. It might have suited my Runekeeper, but that's fine, I don't play him very often.
How can I be of service?
Word has spread about the help you have given to the Rangers in the south. Here in the northern lands, we need your help now more than ever.
Could I speak with you a moment?
So, while the eyes of Esteldin have been turned to the east, news from west and south tells me the enemy is moving on many fronts. I fear that the strength of Esteldin is nearly spent, and alone we cannot face this greater threat. A council of the free peoples of the North Downs must be called, yet before I do so I need more knowledge of this threat. I need to know if Fornost, once the capital of Arna of old, has fallen under the sway of Angmar once more. If the enemy has taken and fortified the ruins of Fornost, we are in the gravest of dangers. Travel to Mincham, a ranger who camps on the fields of Fornost to the west, and ask for his aid. Ah, do I have to go back to Fornost? Seriously? Hey, I can take out some more shades. I've not done the shade Slayer deed. In here there's also this, which is actually a really interesting quest to do. It's a quest chain. It says, stamped across the front of this book is the title of Ayrthir and its settlements. The book's cover is worn, as if many hands have held it. It opens easily and to a dog-eared page, which reads, in those days, northeastern Ayrthir was dominated by 5 great settlements, known commonly as the 5 towns. These were Henethrun, south of Fornost, Dwintham, astride an ancient stream, Carnglin in the northern hills, Ostardulin? I'm not very good with the pronunciations of these things. In the Lakelands, and Dolindir, now called Esteldin. Amongst the ranges of the North Downs, we encourage our people to visit all 5 of the towns and discover the locations of their founding stone. It is important to remember who we are. Now, this is you end up surprising the rangers of Esteldin here. You're actually interested, excuse me, in how they got to be where they are. You end up doing this pilgrimage, which is actually really good. Forces you to travel around a bit, but it is well worthwhile.
Make your request with haste.
So you have found that old journal. Istrian arches at an eyebrow. It is not customary for those not of the Rangers to do so, but if you wish to know more about my kindred, you may want to undertake the journey yourself. This first of the settlements mentioned in the book was called Dolindir. Today, we call it Esteldin. Return to me after you have found the founding stone of Dolindir, and we will speak further. This one is flipping easy. There's absolutely no problem picking this one up. Because it's right out towards the entrance to Esteldin. But then you end up doing this, if I remember right. You end up with, there's a founding stone up with the dwarves back here. There's one near this camp here. There's one in Melvinen, and I can't remember where the others are. There's say 5 towns. Yeah, there's 5 towns. So the founding stone starts your pilgrimage, and that's right here. Not difficult at all. This old monument is well kept and is free of dirt and vines. On its face is an inscription. Here once stood the town and founding stone of Dolindir in the kingdom of Ayrthir, which is past. In this place we established the refuge of Esteldin by Araswil, son of Arahad, and these lands might never again stand unwatched. So the Rangers are here to protect these lands, but they were going to form a protection for the region by working together. I've been trying to dismount for NPCs now because of, I suppose, RPG reasons. I actually want to show respect to the people. It's not just about not just about going from quest to quest and objective to objective.
Silently now. Darkness approaches.
Ah, I see you have chosen to begin the journey. Very well then. The book speaks of 5 towns which were Henethrun, south of Fornost, Dwintham, astride an ancient stream, Carnaglin in the northern hills, Ostardulin, struggled with that last time, in the Lakelands, and Dolindir, now called Esteldin. You've seen the founding stone of Dolindir, and now you seek the other 4. So that gets you off onto your pilgrimage. I can't find a better word for it. So it looks like we have to go. Where do we have to go back? We haven't quite got to go to Fornost for the epic. Where's the orange? Where's my orange ring? Ah, back out here. Okay. So, now. These quests are grey, but we will pick up some greens along the way, I think. That wasn't meant to be a rhyming couplet. Never mind. Right, but there was a quest or 2 outstanding here.
Might I take a
No,
moment of
leave
your
that
time?
one. That's the trip to Oak Barton. I'll pick that up on my own later.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Here we go. Because we need Rangers rep, like, desperately, really. I've got to Esteldin and I'm still only acquaintance with the Rangers. We've had reports that wargs are moving into the area around Esteldin. While we are not yet prepared to move against the enemy in the North Downs, we can't have these foul beasts spying on us. We need you to hunt these creatures down and slay them. It should not be difficult to find the wargs, for they prowl to the west and south, hunting for those of us who dare oppose Angmar. If they learn the whereabouts of Esteldin, the orcs will be able to sweep down upon us, and our line will be ended. You must hurry before they find us. Everything's always urgent, isn't it? This needs doing. We're all stood in this nice stronghold here, but if you could go and do the stuff, that'd be great. Now, if I remember right, there is a Warg Slayer deed here. I started doing the deeds off my own time. I won't expect people to follow. Ooh, pretty. I will do what I call on Twitter stop and stare moments, where I take screenshots during the stream. You have to catch them when you can in LOTRO because of the dynamic weather and dynamic daytime, nighttime. Now, because I ended up over-leveled here totally by accident, well, neglect, an accident, is that it's going to be a bit trickier to find wargs, because I have no legs at all. Not. That's a couple of red dots. Those spiders were red dots on the map at least. There's hope yet. So, oh, warg. There we go. Off you go. We are catching up to being close to at least wargs are quite large, so they stand out. Do what you can. Right. Quite a misty dusk. Right, so the wargs are, yeah, anywhere down towards the elf area. Warg, there you go. Send my links after that. At least I'm not one-shotting them, that should make it at least vaguely interesting. Is there a spider slayer here? No. Okay, so there's no particular urgency on the spiders. This one makes you travel around as well, but if you do it on the same time as the going on a pilgrimage thing, it doesn't really matter because you've encountered a number of interesting herbs on your travels. These should be collected as you make your way through the lands and brought to the Ranger Orthon. Meadowsweet, periwinkle, and butterbur. Now, the reason it's worth doing while you do the other bits and pieces for the ruins of. So we've got the ruins of here, and down in Melwyn, and where's the last one? Can't find it. Maybe inclined. Where's the last one? I think it's Melwyn. I can only see 3. Oh, nope, no, I'm just being blind. Okay, never mind. But you get to go back up towards Othrikar, where there's another founding stone here, so you can pick some of the plants behind Othrikar and pick up the founding stone quest here as well. But this area has the first set of plants in it, so I have a feeling there's a timed quest here I really don't want to pick up. I hate timed quests; they make me stressed. Try not to pick those up more than necessary. Oh, hello. Let me just heal you. Last time I was trying desperately to find, I thought there was an ability that meant it would heal. I could heal myself some health instantly, and it's not. You can only heal your pet instantly. Oops, no, don't attack yourself. Let's get this right. Okay, this is not the timed quest. This one, there is a timed quest, but this is not it. A monstrous breed of spiders has built a nest around south of Esteldin, threatening the security of the outpost inhabitants. You should defeat the Queen of Spiders in the snares. Of course, you gotta find the Queen. And usually other people stomp their way through here. Now, can I walk through there? Yeah. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't with webs. It's really confusing. Right. If the timed one comes up, I am not picking it. I'm actually here to try and find Periwinkle? Meadowsweet. There we go. I don't want to just get happy just killing as many spiders as possible to find the queen and then forget the flowers, because these are at least red dotted. Probably close to the first time in the North Downs where I've got red dots in a mini-map. I don't know if it still follows in Lord of the Rings compared to other... Was that the Queen? Ugh. Icky. Right. In that, spiders are fire. I suspect that is the case. I know I had that in the CI. Needs to be cured. How many cures? Oh, I've got 2 debuffs with that. It's good to know for future reference. I'm still after Meadowsweet, am I? Oh, cocoon. Usually these cocoons in here contain loot. Nope, not that one. That's a quest one. Drat. Not those cocoons. Still want Meadowsweet, however. Just gonna warm up with these easy quests and then we'll get on with stuff to do with the epic. Can I see that spider? It's so hard to tell whether you have line of sight or not. Importantly, we now have Meadowsweet. That's number 4, so I just need one more than there. It's my green area. No. Sometimes it's helpful if the green area shrinks to tell you what's how close you are to the remaining nodes you've not picked up. Right, that's the Meadowsweet from here, and that's all you need to do around here. I'll untick herbs and simples for now because there's a whole bunch of quests around Melwinen, orcs, and a whole storyline thing actually about being protected by the orc guardians. So if I untrack herbs and simples for now. Right, we still want to do the Warg Slayer while we're here, not the deed. Which is confusing. They've actually got a quest called Warg Slayer. It's a shame I managed to go live as it was going dark. Not win them all. Names on now. Right, and also need one more warg. Sometimes it's nice just to start a stream with some easy stuff, because once we get past up here, things get trickier. There's a kind of, it's not quite fellowship area, but it's certainly small fellowship territory if you're close to one level at least. So, okay, I just need one more warg, and then we can crack on with the epic and finding the finding stones. Founding the finding stones. No, teeth in, FJ. Teeth in. I wish there was some way, or I wish I knew there was some way of reducing the channel time for some of these abilities, because genuinely at the moment, probably because I'm still slightly over-leveled, my Lynx kills things faster than I can get to them because of the channel time. Admittedly, I'm playing the line where my job is to keep the pet alive. Who am I? Rubber banding. Hello. No, my ping's fine, so from rubber banding, it's not my fault. Right. So let's turn in this Warg Slayer one, and unless that leads on to something else, we'll just crack on with the epic. Oh, hello. Where's that spider? And I also, just in the click happiness there of turning on Smell the Roses. Right. Let's get this thing turned in. Ah, gold. I need gold. I've just joined the Jewelers Guild on this character, and you really do need gold. In fact, if you do guild crafting, as a tinker, you need to keep plenty of gold and silver, because you think later you have to create white gold ingots to craft the rep items. Check of Twitter while the chat room is quiet. Cool. Okay, that's fine. So. Digress. Warg Slayer.
Greetings.
Well done. If only there were more of us in Esteldin, we rangers could deal with such creatures ourselves. But all our attention by necessity, consumed by the Orc army. Your work is allowing us to gather our forces to deal with a greater threat. Oh look, more people sharing their trousers. Someone tweeted about this, it was quite funny. Saying, I don't know, what are they doing if I'm taking their trousers? I doubt this looks anything worth keeping. I haven't got an outfit that shows trousers, have I? Nope, never mind. Right, and
How can I be of service?
You've done well, Ayrthir. The death of the Spider Queen should throw the entire layer into disarray. You can hope, can't you? Cool. So that clears those ones down, and then we will crack on with the, or going towards the epic. So we have to make our way back to Mincham's camp. So what I'll do is I'll go out towards here to grab the founding stone. And here's to get the founding stone from here, and another one here. And then I'll leave the Melweenan one for when you get sent down here. So let's just have a bit of a ride through the North Downs. But we need to get back to where we were taking out shades in the first stream. Is there a Warg Slayer deed in the... Yeah, there is. Wargs in the North Downs, Kingsfell is a good place for them, but they're quite sparsely placed on the map. If you want a concentrated number of wargs, you have to unfortunately get around to Doldinan, You actually, if you want to relax when you're doing the Wild Slay, you just need to be around here, I think. I think there are some that wander around here because there's also Angmarim. And Doldinen has some, but because it's Doldinen, most of them are signature. Or worse. Or higher. Worse is probably the wrong word. Right, so we're starting to get into red dot territory, aren't we? So I've got to make sure I don't assume I can just run around. Some gathering nodes. Some people complaining about Twitch. I can't really load my Twitch profile, so I'll end up with double voice. Right, anyway, we don't have to go up to Othrikar, we need to get to the dwarf cube, which does have a fellowship quest in it. I didn't do that one on... I wonder if I have actually done everything at... Othrikar, because I don't remember doing Finding Dori. Should we carry on doing there? What should we do? Should we do... Now let's stick with what we're currently doing. We can do Finding Dori later. So, we have managed to not be affected with red dots. I've got to make sure I don't get too distracted by... I'm just wandering through the countryside. Now, the founding stone is... up here. For anyone who hasn't done this yet, the founding stone is up here. And round, it's about here. Now, the dwarf music will kick in fairly sure. Hi Lieber, thank you! It's good to see your name hanging round. Yeah. A bit of a chill stream because I can't rush anything. What is it, about 8:30 your end now in the morning? Is that right? 8:30 in the morning? Sadly in here there is not a dwarf killer deed. There is in Forahil. Taking out Dower Hounds, but not in this region, so I'm just going to grab gathering nodes. Could do with more gold, rich gold deposit. Yeah, let me grab that and then I'll get back to what I was doing. But yeah, no, it's good to see you here. I know you said a few times that you've been good since you've not been able to make one. So hopefully, if you can stick around for a bit, that would be great. I've had a few people sort of come in and go out, and it's taken me a bit to warm up to what I am doing. I've not exactly had the best of weekends and starts to the week, so I'm going slow in the North Downs. So this is Ayrthir. He's Lawmaster, which means I get a companion creature that fights for me. The fox is just a pet, but the lynx here is my current creature companion. So, because you'd missed the start of it, Lieber, what I'll just say is I've picked up a quest where it's an ancient ritual of the Rangers of Esteldin. Esteldin is here. Rangers are kind of like the guards for the North Downs. Not that they get on very well with the locals, but they send you on this pilgrimage to find still can't say it. To find founding stones, to understand the history of the area. So we can pick up a few of these founding stones on the way to the actual quest, which is over here. And then there's another one we'll pick up down here later, but there's no rush. It means we get a bit of a ride through the North Downs. And hopefully the connection will be fine. What's my current? I'm on 120 milliseconds, that's fine at the moment. So this founding stone. The monument's face. Oh yay, thank you, Lever. The monument's face is inscribed with the faded words, Carngalin, founded in the name of Mavagil, King of Ayrthir. With the skill of Thorhadur, the dwarf, and his kindred, was this town built, united in purpose, made dwarves and men be ever bonded in friendship. So you're sort of learning some of the history of the North Downs while you're at it. Okay, so we've done what we need to do here, so we need to get to this campsite here for the next founding stone, and we'll just gradually make our way to the actual quest. I need to go slow this evening, and try not to kamikaze off the edge there. I think this epic ends up sending you around quite a few bits and pieces, if I remember right. It's just that the North Downs is a bit... Most of it is fairly logical, but the epic doesn't start until you reach Esteldin, by which time you've done a lot of quests if you pick up some of the chains. And I reckon I didn't do all of Othrakar in the last stream, because I didn't do... There's a quest called... It's not called Finding Dori, it's fairly close to called Finding Dori, and it just makes me think of the blue fish from Nemo. Right. Founding stone for here. There's a little circle of... Yeah, here it is. So here's another one. They just spread their information about their history around. It's really quite interesting. This monument's face is also inscribed with faded words. Dwyntham, founded in the year 1249 of the Third Age. At this place did King Celebrimbor establish the town of Dwyntham, and his people might cultivate the land and feed the people of his realm. That one's a bit easier to read. Okay, the next is at here. I can't remember if that's friendly territory or not. We'll be over leveled enough, so I can just run in and get the founding stone and come out again. People in my kin are ranting, and I'm gonna check it afterwards. Apparently the latest version of the Twitch website has been forced on everybody. I couldn't find what I was looking for when I tried the beta, when it was just beta, and I just switched straight back to the original version of Twitch. So I couldn't find what all the tools I'm used to using. So that'll be fun. I'll have to investigate what the live beta as it is now. Probably ought to make sure I get my head around that before I do my next stream, else I'll be even more disorganised than normal. So, after the second founding stone, and then we should be able to stop just randomly wandering around the North Downs. I might just loot all that so I don't lose it. Loot most of it at least. Right. So, the next founding stone is up in this. I think this is where you come to find some of the other history bits earlier on. Hi Elva! I'm kind of muttering to myself, so I'm trying to get my head around things. It's taken me a bit while to warm up today. So, we're catching up on the Founding Stones pilgrimage around the North Downs, and hopefully then picking up the epic. Now then, is this one that's really obvious? Yes. Here? Yes, it spawned. There we go. Once we manage to pick up more of the epic, we will end up with mobs that are actually worth fighting. Thank you, Elva, that means a lot. That wasn't even the Founding Stone. I'm going really slow, but it's nice to have company. I've had a few people come and go so far in this stream, and it's just going to be a slow, chilled one, I think. As you look upon the ancient statue, you realise that several significant small pieces seem to be missing, leaving holes where relics should be. The statue looks to have been looted, but lately. That's old English, isn't it? To have been looted, but lately. Perhaps the missing treasures can be found nearby. The looters may have buried the pieces for later recovery. And this is the Founding Stone. Always get attracted by the shiny thing and forget this is what I'm actually looking for. This monument's face is inscribed with faded words. Henneth Rune. Established in the first year of the reign of Ayrthir, son of Arveleg. Folk shall gather where commerce thrives. Yes, that's very true. So, we need to find the treasures to repair the statue. Quite why a statue was made of treasures doesn't matter. But as we need Rangers rep, we may as well grab these. Now when you do this, if I remember right, there's little white crosses on the walls where you need to dig. Grab this silver because I'll need it for guild crafting. So you see here, I think this is right, there's a white cross there. I think that means I can dig close by, but it doesn't trigger until you get... Yeah, there you go. Disturbed Earth. Yes, Earth is disturbed. I couldn't agree more. Right, so... Looking at the rings here. Goat? What goat? What goat? I don't know what goat. I don't have a goat. This character doesn't have a goat. I've got a lynx and a fox here. Only Mirlas has a goat because I picked it up from the Bingo Boffin quest chain. And I think that's a later region reward. That's 2 out of 5 pieces. Oh, the one I was... Oh, I told you I wasn't with it. Thank you. The reason he's got the... What goat? Oh, flipping heck. The reason I managed to get that was I had... When I first... I think I ended up having like a month of VIP way back when. And he was a drop in a gold hobbit gift. And that's his only mount. I think I might get him the Rangers of Esteldin. I've already got that one, yes. The Rangers of Esteldin mount because it's quite nice and simple. He's not a fancy guy, my lore master. Functional and comfortable is the way he prefers to go. And the Rangers of Esteldin mount is actually really simple and I think quite elegant. So I think he'll get that one. He will probably have to get the elven one, but not necessarily for riding. He'll just keep it because it's a nice horse to have in his stables. A clean bowl for breakfast. I'm so glad we have a dishwasher. I mean, even then, if the dishwasher isn't full enough to warrant putting the thing on, you have to wash your own stuff. Yeah, that was quite impressive, Elf. I mean, I have no idea what is rare and what isn't. And I was gifted some VIP thanks to somebody else in LOTRO family. And I managed to get some mithril coins. So I was able to get an extra outfit and one of the older festival mounts. I'm just letting my Lynx collect some leathers. Not that this character needs them, but others do. Looks like I'm going at a guy with a pitchfork when my Lynx just decides to do things. You have to get quite close to these to before they trigger. Right. Okay. So that's all the 5 pieces. Is that guy in Esteldin? The ruins of... Ah, no. Okay, so that's on the way. We can go back up to... That's just on the edge of the fields of Fornos, so that's fine. Hi, Autumn. This is Lawmaster. So, I have a creature companion to fight alongside me. I am playing... Let's get this right. I am playing Blue Line. So basically, lazy mode, if you like. Since picking this up, I realised why I created him this way, and it's so that it's relaxing. So your job as Lawmaster on this line is to keep your pet alive. We will have a bit of a challenge later on in the North Downs, but we're flinging ourselves around the region at the moment.
Greetings.
So your creature does most of the damage on that line. Relics stolen from an Anorian statue. I'm glad you saved them, Ayrthir. Clearly it is not safe to restore them, though. Perhaps it can be done in more peaceful times. I will keep these safe, and they will be treasured when I return to Esteldin, for these belong to the men of Numenor. It doesn't really matter. I've overcrafted for that anyway. You've got a dishwasher, but bad at using it. Because I have I need things to be vaguely tidy. I have to I need to tidy the kitchen at least once a day, and therefore all the dirty dishes I see go into the dishwasher, and then once it's full enough, I put it on. It's my basically, since not being able to do normal work, my jobs are blogging, gaming, streaming, and house husbanding. So apart from cooking the meals and certain baby duties, I do quite a lot of the other stuff in the house. So I've done 2 loads of laundry. I need to try and do some cleaning, but I can't do too much in one day, so I don't tire myself out. I try and keep things vaguely tidy when that is actually a feasible target. My daughter has been away for a few days while my wife recovers from having a cyst removed from her mouth. So it's been possible to keep the house tidy, which is unusual. So I don't think the epic forces to go deeper into the Fornost again. If it does, it doesn't matter, because I've made almost no progress on the Shade Slayer or Redeemer Deed. I think it's Redeemer Deed in this region. I did some Orc Slayer progress just before stream. Right. People who didn't catch this at the start, what I've been trying to do is dismount for NPCs, but for the most part at least, and to sort of show honour to other characters in, because it's not just about goals and targets and quests, but about
It's
how
a
you
sorry
interact
day.
with people. The enemy retaking Fornost of old? Aye, from what I've seen here, I believe it most likely they have. From this lonely camp I have seen the spectres of the Oathbreakers stir, and fell spirits from Angmar take shape upon the fields. I have also seen orcs spilling out of the gates of Fornost, so yes, the enemy has indeed taken Fornost once more. What cannot be told is the strength of the enemy within the ruined city, and for that, I shall need your help.
Will you hear my sorrows?
I won't be doing any of the instances in Fornost, but I think I'm right, there is an exploration item just outside the gates that I can pick up while there. I cannot tell you the strength of the forces of Angmar within Fornost, for I did not see them approach. The orcs and wargs that guard the gates must have entered Fornost from the north. I fear the only way to know the true strength of the enemy within Fornost is to test the defences erected at its gates by the orcs. I would do this myself, but my old injury prevents me from doing so. If you are willing, go to the Norbury gates north of here and slay what orcs and wargs you find. After you have done so, bring me a report of what you find. So, 10 orcs and 6 wargs. This is unlikely to be the only thing I do up here, because there are some of those... This region has quests that auto-trigger. This is really misty. So I've only just noticed how misty it is here. There's some creatures that trigger extra quests. And any quest you can pick up that has Rangers of Esteldin reputation attached is less that you have to worry about having to try and recover in Doldinen. So, this one auto-triggered here, or auto-bestowed, I think is what it's actually called. Blood-Eye, a shadow beast of Fornos, roams with his pack of snarling barcasts. You should drive off the deadly Blood-Eye. Deadly Blood-Eye. Right, so, gotta find Blood-Eye first. Haha, there's a first. Right, now if I can get my Lynx to actually focus on the one that I want him to attack, and not the ones on the way, we might get Blood-Eye first time. Because I've got my pet in aggressive mode. Sometimes he can get distracted by other... Haha. Yes, so now he can get attacked. So I need to do some healing of this kitty cat. Wait till we get out of combat and I can deal with his wounds. There we go. There we go. So there we go. So even that one, you see, is quite a quick one. Even if you're on level, that's not too big. But you get 500 rep there. Ooh, did we actually just go up? No? What did we just trigger there? What deed did we finish? Deed completed. Glory's long past. Final. We've made such little headway in the North Downs, and yet you clear this deed without any problems. But we got nice 15 LOTRO points there, and the deeds of the North Downs. Most of the deeds are quite manageable here. The hardest one is mapping 2 points in Doldinen that you have to fight a lot through unless you're over leveled. But the rest of it is manageable. The one bit that you do have to go out your way for is Worm Slayer, which is up this path to Angmar. So you end up on this rocky bit that goes over Angmar, and you just have to keep going round and round and round, finding more and more worms. Less painful if you have a Slayer deed accelerator. Well, I'm hoping it's less painful with a cat. Considering that I live alone, I've got to do all the cleaning. The thing is, what I've had when I've been left alone for too long in the house before is, you go, oh, I'll just get a clean thing out the dishwasher. Oh, wait, I didn't clean the dishwasher. I've tried to learn since then. Right, so up to the gates of Fornos, and we are after orcs and wargs. Can't wait to get back up to East North Downs when I've actually got some on-level foes to deal with, or at least close to on-level foes. It's only because I neglected this one for so long that it happened this way. I've been using him as a crafting character. Ah, yes, of course, if you're getting close to nearly finishing studying, that will automatically distract you. It's like our house gets more and more chaotic the less that NJ sleeps. And you can only do so much while trying to control your child to sleep. I'm surprised I'm managing to get something done in here, because usually people are on... You think that it looks like the people are trying to deed here, and it's not worth trying to do any of the Slayer aspects of the North Downs in here. There's not enough of them. Wargs are spread so thinly around until you hit Doldinen that you may as well pick those off as you can. But seriously, if you're after the Orc Slayer deeds, don't bother doing it here. You want to be in Nan Wathren, which is where I was just before going live. Haven't quite finished the Orc Slayer, but I knew that other quests would take me to Orcs, so I didn't have to. See, I only need 22 to finish off Orc Slayer. Hi Valiant, it's good to see you again. Just trying to catch up on the epic so that we can get back to fighting non-grey enemies. But it's good to see you. must be an easier way to select ally than me having to flick my cursor around the whole time. It doesn't really matter at this point, it will matter in Esteldin. So we need 2 more orcs. I'm trying to remember, there's a giant hand somewhere. Ah, that's deeper into the Fornos gate. We don't actually need to be... Thanks, Valiance. Actually, through the gates of Fornost at this point. Well, the Northern Gates was a lot of exploration of North Downs, wasn't it? Yes. Oh, I missed Falconer's Tower. We did so much in the fields of Fornost, I still managed to miss Falconer's Tower somehow. Okay. It'll make for a relaxing ride around at some point to finish the exploration. And off you go again. Right. So we've done what we need to do for that epic. So instead of just going around and killing more stuff just because we can, let's go turn the epic in. I'll have the fun task of going and finding enough wargs for the Slayer deed on my own at some point. It's just such a long ride. Wouldn't matter so much if it was daytime, but nighttime and it's misty is quite grey. What I have liked about the new filters that LOTRO have got in, doesn't apply on this mount, but the audio filter has meant I've been able to, on the horses that have that sort of jingle bell sound, so I think the Big People's horse from Fallfest and Springfest both had the jingle bells thing going on. If you record that sound and filter it, you can make it a lot quieter. Of course, if you like the jingle bells, that's fine, that's your choice. But I really appreciated being able to filter that out. And I'm looking forward to being able to filter out some of the freakier sounds in Angmar as well.
A shadow is on my spirit.
You are truly stout of heart to face such beasts. You have my gratitude, Ayrthir. I only wish I could have done this myself instead of sending you in my stead, but time and injury prevent me from wielding a sword, let alone drawing a bow. From what you tell me, Angmar did not merely send a token force to Fornost, nay, it appears they sent an army. Fornost has once more fallen to Angmar. And it's another uninspiring cloak. I don't think I need it for stats. No. I don't have enough room for that. How? Oh, I've got full bags. Right. Random task item.
Will you lend me your ear?
Quick now, you must return to Halbarad in Esteldin and tell him what you've learned here. Angmar has taken Fornost once more. From such a fortified spot, Angmar could dominate all of the north, but there are even worse things to worry about. Tales tell of a great evil which inhabits the collapsed and ruined halls of Fornost. This evil could be called to serve Angmar. Go to Esteldin, all the way back down the road we've just done, and tell Halbarad of all you have learned here. What I'm actually going to do is get back to Trestlebridge, sell a bunch of stuff, and get the taxi to Esteldin. And I may have to actually get a drink. I've had, it must be about week 4 of having the same stupid cold. So let's get back to Trestlebridge. Whatever I said before. And then we should have fairly close to on-level mobs once we get back to... Because we've got... The epic is at least green. Just grab this silver, because I've just got my character to join the Tailor's Guild. Tinker's Guild, Jeweler's Guild. Some of the recipes require white gold, so you have to pick up quite a lot of silver to craft those. Did you manage to find a bowl yet, Lieber, or did you have to? Were you forced to wash one, or worse, use one you'd already used? Far too much stuff in my bags. I'm going to assume I don't need anything on alts. I'll just make sure I don't lose the metals. My metalsmith does not need brimstone. Just loads of that hanging around. So let's dismount. Show the ladies some respect.
Oh dear, did you need something?
Well, it's more that I've got a load of stuff that I don't need. Good. Oh, did I get a shard? What shard did I pick up? Adamant shards. For the sake of simplicity for the stream, I'll just get rid of everything. Which leaves me with... I bought 5 more bag slots. You'd think that would be enough. But since joining crafting guilds, I've learned actually you have to hold on to a lot more than what you thought you did. I thought once you crafted beyond what you
Greetings.
need, you can get rid of the rest of it, but no! Right, so I have to pelt it back to Esteldin, so to save my hands, I'm going to do this the easy way. I think my dishwasher should just be about finished on its cycle, I think. So where are we at the North Downs beads then? Yeah, I've not already started Goblin Slayer. Nearly done Orc Slayer though. So that's 17 more of those. Redeemer, which is killing shades. Is there any way you can actually check what you've unlocked for your account? I would like to know the same question, because when I've looked for quest packs before, I'm not sure whether the ones listed there are the only ones available to me, or the only ones I'm allowed to, or that does it just list ones I haven't unlocked yet, or is it something else? I'm trying to think, is it somewhere in... See, when I go to expansions, I've got expansions here. I didn't buy the full expansion of Rise of Isengard. I picked up the quest pack because I don't need the instances or anything. Nothing in quest packs. That means I'm just down to expansions now. Good question. The easiest way would be if you keep the email receipts from the store, which I try to. If you keep the email receipts from the store, then it'll tell you what you've done in the past. If you don't, then your only hope is that you haven't emptied your deleted items in your email. That would be the first place I would look, actually. The other thing is, I'm trying to think, there was something when you can tell if you've unlocked one thing or another in particular categories. So here you said Vault Upgrade 3. I think there might be 1 and 2. I'm not sure it's applicable for Vault, but there's something where it's like unlock 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, I don't think there is. I agree. If there is, then that would be really handy. But if I go into my account here, I think it's just personal information. Yeah, it's not even that. There's not a lot there. Maybe put a forum thread up, or tweet them and make the suggestion, because I agree it'd be really handy to actually see what you've done in the past. Definitely. But no, as far as I know, there's not a one-page "this is what you've done on your account" situation. You can tell I haven't done the Redeemer deed here because I've not finished the Eastern and Western ruins, which are here and here. That's Falconer's Tower is someplace up here as well, I think. There is history on the page where you are. Oh, wait, hang on. Where did I miss that? I wish the store loaded quicker on my computer. History. Oh, history. Oh, yeah. Well, kind of. Unfortunately, it also lists every time you've gained deeds, points from deeds. So yeah, okay, here we go. So in-game purchase here, Isengard, which I picked up during the sale. Deeds. Can you tell, even though I've got some VIP gifted to me, that I still do a lot more deeds? Given that the next expansion is I need 3,000 points for, I'm going to still need to do quite a lot of deeds. Where's the last thing I unlocked? I unlocked the bags, but that, yeah, that's 31st. Liber, logically speaking, Lonelands, if you're a human and you've only done Breland, yeah, what Valiant said, if you're a human or Bjorning, then you can choose to go and do the Shire, and you can choose to go and do Eridwen anyway, and those are free. So you've got 2 more regions of deeds as well. But yeah, Valiant, you're correct, because here we go, I got a, okay, that was only a coupon code, but a Skill and Slayer deed, so Elf. Well, in which case your Elf can still go and do the Shire if you've done everything in Eridwen. If you have. I thought I saw it rain. It's raining, and it's not... Look, I don't know if anyone can see this, but it's clearly raining on the ground here. And there's no stars in the sky. There's only stars in the sky. There's not no clouds at all. And it's raining. Okay. Right. So anyway, we're going back to Halbarad. And if you're F2P, Liber, you can start a second character and either choose to make them a throwaway, which is what I said I was going to do, and then never throw any of them away. And just do the started regions again and get all the points. I mean, Lonelands is free, so you don't need points to do Lonelands. It has its challenges, Lonelands, but it's beautiful. The earlier part of Lonelands is really stunning, especially at dawn and dusk. You don't need clouds for rain. Apparently so. Or apparently not.
What do you need?
I suppose we can be thankful that we are no longer as ignorant of the enemy's plans as we once were. Yet the question of how we will face this threat looms over us all. The peoples of the North Downs must be called together for a council to deal with this threat. There is much to do, and much I will ask of you in the days ahead, if you are willing of spirit. Oh, don't send... You're not gonna... Yeah, you are. Right. Now this one... This is... The next book, part of this book is in 3 pieces. So I'm not going to go straight to the one that sends you back to Trestlebridge. Let's go somewhere nicer. Completed Eridwen. I think I need to start saving LP how to purchase stuff. If you've completed Eridwen, you can still go and do the Shire, as well as move on to the Lonelands. So the Shire is still an option for you, Liber, for more LOTRO points. Yeah, Elva, I totally agree. dusk, particularly in the Lowlands, is stunning. And I think LOTRO have changed something, because if you take shots into the sunlight, you get glows around them. Hi Marrow. You get glows as you're looking into it, and it sort of adds extra depth of colour, which has been lovely. Right, what I'm going to do, I'll pick up these quests, and as I've been going an hour, my throat's getting dry. My master plan, is to we'll go and do the elven bit here, because A, we can finish up the founding stones, and B, it's just a different it has its own little storyline here, and it's not too far out of Esteldin, even better. North Downs, Evandin, Trollshaws, Misty, Forach Hill, as Marrow told me, and Angmar. Yes, I've managed to unlock all of Ayrthir, but I need to actually go back on my main and do and finish Angmar off. Can I just call you Bacon? I probably shouldn't say your whole name out loud. Hi Bacon. Right, let me pick up these
Would
quests.
you do something for
So the
me?
people that just come in the room, I have been live for about an hour, so I need to actually go and make myself a drink. But I'll pick up these quests first. So, a call to the dwarves. We will need the might of the dwarves of Othrikar if we are to face the threat of Angmar. The dwarves there are good longbeards, but have long been put to task by the Dourhands. When the Dourhands showed their true loyalties, the longbeards drove them out of Othrikar. Yet they are still hard pressed by the Dourhands, and only recently has one of Durin's folk from Erebor, Dori, come to aid them. Ah, that's why I haven't done finding Dori. It will not be easy to convince them to lend their strength to the council, but you must try. Travel to Othrikar and speak with Dori. If you cannot find Dori for some reason, speak to a dwarf named Hannah. He is the one who leads the Longbeards of Othrikar. Training some hearts of his Scottish friend. What part of Scotland is he from? Because I'm in Scotland. Can we call you late for dinner? It's never good if Bacon is late for dinner. Call to the elves, which is
Could
the
I
one we'll
speak with you a
actually pick up.
moment?
To the south of Esteldin there stands a small refuge of the elves. Many long years have the elves dwelt there. However, in recent days, most of the elves left the glade. What is worse, I have heard that those few that remained were slain by stone trolls from the north. It is an irony that Gildor, Inglorin, and Elflord from Rivendell was coming to give word of the enemy's movements, but has arrived too late to save those who remained. He should be called to the council, but I fear he will be too consumed by the desire to protect both the glade and his people from their rage. It will be your task to go to Lingiliath and convince Gildor to come to the council. Glasgow, yeah, when we go down south to visit family in England, we kind of skirt around Glasgow. When we first got married, you had to go through it to take that route south, and that was just not pleasant. The roads in towards Glasgow are really confusing.
Stay a moment.
And the last bit, which is definitely not for tonight, we'll do the elven bit. Of all those that have suffered in the North Downs, it is perhaps the people of Trestlebridge who have suffered the most. They have stood firm against all orc attacks, but their own numbers are dwindling. In fact, the mayor of the town, Lovell Boskins, was recently slain, and his daughter Nellie now leads the people there. I would ask you go to Trestlebridge and speak with Nellie. We will need her leadership at the council. I will give you word of warning. Although her people have the most to gain from coming, Nellie will be the hardest to convince. The constant tax will block all thought of anything but dealing with the immediate threat, which you can't really blame her for. Haha, touche, Bacon. Bacon is never late, nor it is early. It arrives precisely when he means to. I need to copy and paste that, because I've got someone on Twitter who would really, really appreciate that quote. Like it. Right. So, if I make the journey to Melwinen, and then I will go and make my drink. and then we can just get straight into questing as soon as I get back from making a drink and getting a breath of fresh air. If it wasn't for my family, it feels like 8 o'clock. Things get a bit busier in the room, so I don't know whether I should start at 7:30ish maybe next time. But I just got to make sure I don't end up streaming at a time when NJ should be sleeping. Although today she's not here, but that's not normal. I am most of the time on Evernight Bacon. But I'm one a day on Crick Hollow. What a day? One a week on Crick Hollow. I can't English today, as somebody once told me to word it. Yeah, when I'm playing LOTRO, I'm mostly on Evernight. I have most of my characters here. Right, I don't want to really aggro any of these mobs. I just want to get to the nice elven refuge of Melwinen. Kingsfell is a great place for Warg Slayer. It's also, if you're in desperate need of sturdy hides for crafting, there are, I think up here-ish, some herds that you can farm from. Why are you pulling that face at Evernight? I can't tell from that whether that's a good face or a bad face. It looks like a horrified face. Am I still being chased by a warg? I'm on the gold node. It stopped. Okay. Oh, I don't even know who you're referring to. There, Bacon. I have my chat tab automatically set to kin, so I don't see anything in world chat. Evernight is a master race. There's so much. I've only just started reading Lord of the Rings for the first time. Please don't kill me. But already I'm like, oh, that's where all those references are from. I see. So Melwinen is the first place if you want to turn in tasks for Elves of Rivendell rep, but realistically, you'd be better placed putting them into Rangers of Esteldin rep, because you can get Elves of Rivendell rep all the way through Trollshaws and Misty, and you almost certainly will have full rep by the time you finish Trollshaws. So you don't need to be doing those tasks here. Right, my Lord of the Rings mug is sadly very empty, so I'm... Thanks, Bacon. So I'm going to go make myself a drink and grab a breath of fresh air. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and we'll get on with the story in Melwinen. So I'll be back shortly. I keep meaning to actually create a brew time icon for when I'm AFK. So what I'll do is I'll just put this here and set my AFK mode. If anyone pops into the room and wonders why nothing's happening, I'm getting a drink. See you in a few minutes. shouldn't have tea, but I do. I also have chocolate, which is pretty much the only way I'm going to keep my energy up tonight. Right. Let's come out of AFK mode. Here we go. Now you have the quest giver here in Melwinen, or Lingiliath, as the map tells me, but it triggers a whole bunch of other things. Supplies are low and too many of my company are interested only in revenge.
Mind my words, traveller.
So, the context here is to be able to fight the evil of Fornost. Thanks, Valiance. Yeah, I shouldn't be having caffeine, and this is my one day when I allow myself to have it in the evening. So the context here is to face the evil of Angmar from Fornost. They want to gather people from the dwarves, the men, and the elves, with the rangers, to a council. But the only way you're going to convince them to get to that council is to deal with all their other problems first. Hi Terry Adwin, thanks for joining. So, we must restore the stores of Lingiliath as soon as we can. Grief can cause both body and spirit to suffer, but against one of these hurts we can prepare. The stone trolls ruin the food that was stored here, but there are other sources of sustenance. Hunt the Aurochs here on the plains of the Kingsfell, to the north of Lingiliath. Their meat will go a long way to restoring Lingiliath's stores. An Auroch is a dangerous foe, and you must hunt several to obtain enough steaks. Steak.
Will you lend me your ear?
And then, yeah, Gildor Inglorion brought our company north to spread word of a great evil stirring in the south, but we found here only death. The keeper of this glade was a friend to many of us, a fair elf named Lachan. He was slain by stone trolls before we arrived, and the refuge beset by ruin. I do not know what called the trolls out of Torgonweth, but we must rebuild this place as best we can, for it is what Lachan would have wanted us to do were he here to ask it. Revenge? It must wait. The trolls scattered the possessions that were stored here throughout Melwinen. Look for shattered barrels between here and Torgonweth to the south. I need you to bring their contents to me. Talking about evil from the south, that's where I was questing before I came live. Is because actually Nan Wathren here, and I think there's some trolls here. Nan Wathren actually has a pass up this way to Melwinen, part of the exploration deed. Just as an FYI, if you wanted a quicker route to Melwinen than going across all of the North Downs, you can cut through Nan Wathren. If you're over leveled, you can cut through, otherwise you're slashing your way through. So again, the life of a hero isn't always about going after the biggest, meanest foes. Although we'll have fun with the trolls later. Oh yeah, Herbs and Simples is here too. I'll pick up the others later. But while I've got this one here, I want to untrack that because we're only going to do one part of the council today. We're doing that one, we're not doing Nelly Boskin's one. Right. Butterbeer. Butterbeer isn't for making butterbeer. Right. Oh, there's one here. As I was saying, Kingsfell is the best place for, as far as I've seen, for farming sturdy hides in for explorer crafting. I will not be rushing anything in this stream. It's been a pretty naff 4 or 5 days for me, so I will just be going steady. I shouldn't have bothered mounting, should I? It's because there's quite a large herd of these somewhere just over this hill, and there's lots of them in one area. Which is why it makes it really great hide farming. Forcing myself to do Lawmaster on stream has reminded me why I enjoy playing it, but it also reminds me how annoying it is that you have to use some of your health for some of the abilities. Means up against tougher foes you have to remember to heal yourself as well as protect your power, which is why sometimes I'll use the Eagle Companion. The Eagle Companion has a power restorer for you and it. Love the fact you're a Lawmaster, master of magic, can do what I want to do, can tame creatures. What's your one of things? I'm just going to pick up this flaming thing here and throw it at you. Nothing elegant or magical about that, is there? Wrong way round, but it's okay. How are we doing for steaks? We need one more steak. Steak. Tea time is too far away. Nope, that one didn't yield steak either. Well, so do I, if it's just me, but I think that could make for quite a dull stream, so I'm letting my pet do most of it, but I like to help a little bit. Plus there's absolutely no way I'd pick off any of the classes if I didn't do something proactive. Right, we've got all the steaks, but I spotted a shiny thing up here. Is that something we have to do? Ah, no. I thought that was an exploration point. I've done this before. That's not an exploration point. I just thought it was. Yeah, normally I play lazy Lawmaster. That's why I'm, with my job being to keep the animal alive. I also had a really bad experience, roughly on level in the Lonelands, because I had the wrong pet out in, what's the area called? Not quite Garthagard, this one here. I can't pronounce that, but you've got the whites area here, and I had the wrong pet out who aggroed all of them, and then I just realised quite how squishy a Lawmaster is when you are attacked and it's not your pet. So since then I've tried to be a little bit more proactive. But yes, it made me realise I actually quite enjoy playing this because it's a much more relaxing way of playing the game when I haven't got to button mash quite as much. I mean, I still love my Guardian. I need to pick up my champion again at some point. But it's nice to save the hands some effort.
What do you need?
You have done very well, Ayrthir, and I thank you for your aid. This Oros meat will keep us for as long as it takes to restore Lingeliath. I would have further word with you. The grief of my friends is very deep, for Lachen was beloved of many. Help them if you can, and do not hold against them any harsh feelings if their despair seems to you strident. I can't pronounce these names. Thalialang? It's best you don't tell me how badly I'm pronouncing these. And Bethelwyn were, Thalambeth, were particularly close to Lachen and held him in high regard. Give them comfort in their grief, for they have lost much to the evil that lurks in Torgonweth. Again, I thank you for your aid, and I wish you well. I doubt I need any of these. No, so, 290, 23, let's go for that. Right, now then, that triggers... Well, let's do these scattered belongings, because we've got that one active. So we're looking for broken barrels around here. Advantage it being kind of a bit dark still. is that things shine when you need them. Insect menace. Kill sickle flies. Okay. Its range is a rep, so no reason not to. Some items to pick up, you can pick up by actually targeting them. Other ones, and I found this in the Haunted Burrow during Fall Fest, you have to actually... these barrels are fine, but that periwinkle was... you couldn't click it, you have to click the name. I found, yeah, some things in Haunted Burrow you're fine clicking it, but some of the things, the name was actually the easiest. Oh look, green mobs! Proper first time where there's a decent number of red dots in the... What I do like playing about lazy Lawmaster and having my pet on aggro mode means I can just wander around picking things up that I need to, and my pet can take out creatures around. The closest I will get to passive deeding is to allow my pet to do some of the work. Things spawning on top of each other. Can I pick up this up while I... yeah, cool. Revolting silt toad. Anyone seen a beautiful silt toad? I'm not sure I have. Is that even a red? I thought that was a yellow one. Right, so we've got all the barrels, we just need a few more sickle flies for the auto-bestowed quest. Oh, well done, Lisa. You just have to remember to put your dishwasher on now, before you end up doing whatever it is you're doing in the evening. Where's Lizzie off to? Oh come on, there's orcs in the area and you're just taking on a frog instead, I see. Right, sickle flies. I don't need the floaty names for that. Is there a revive from stun for... Normally, I would actually agree with you, Marrow. What I find difficult with the bear is it aggroes more than I want it to. And that's gotten me into trouble before. There we go, don't need to read that out. You've killed some sickle flies, which is helpful. That's a summary of what it said. Broken barrels, then we'll find the other people that need help in their grief. The elf is right. People react to grief in different ways, and grief isn't always about death. Sometimes it's separation, loss of a friend, and you can't judge someone really for how they react when they're grieving. Yeah, I know you're slightly biased on the whole bear thing, Marrow, but I do struggle with... I mean, I do have a look. I've got a... If I dismiss... I do have two different types of bears. If I dismiss my Lynx here, I do in fact have bonus. So he's very nice, but I just struggle personally with fighting with them. Yes, I do have a cosmetic companion snake, so I've got a snake speech. It's just I mean, I don't know whether you can get... I probably ought to try and get an actual pet one, because I can only summon one companion and one pet at the moment, and I think later on I could do Bear Day with a Lawmaster. That's very true. I think later on I've seen lore masters that can summon multiple companions, and that will be helpful later, where you're effectively a small fellowship. All on your own. Hadn't thought about trying to do a bear day on my lore master, but I'd have to be very brave and I'd want to actually practice first, because I've...
How can I be of service?
No offence, but that's the one bear I've struggled with. I did not think we could hope for as much as you have returned with. I thank you for your aid. The trolls ruined or consumed much of the food that was stored here, and many relics were lost. Lacan would grieve for these losses, even as we grieve for him. Right, now we've got to find the other... Oh, that's triggered quite a lot of quests. Now then. I need to speak to most of these, I think. Where's Beth? One of them's Beth. Unless it was Breath, because this one starts Breath. Breath the one. Yeah.
Might you
Ninth
spare a
Spawn.
moment of your time?
Pets and cosmetics in Mordor. That's, I suppose you've got to have something to get yourself through it. I think people are struggling a little bit with some of the... how enormously difficult some parts of Mordor are turning out to be. Thalialang and Lagalan are so intent upon vengeance against the stone trolls they are blind to all other threats, and I fear they will not retain enough strength of will to fight the other dangers that lurk nearby. Orcs of the Ongburs clan have established a foothold in Nan Wathren, the valley to the southwest, and their scouts intrude further into Melwinen with each passing day. Slay any orcs you find that have crossed into Melwinen, for they pose a great threat to Lingiliath. You will surely find them south and southwest of here along the lines of the mountains, which means we will absolutely definitely finish Orc Slayer while we're at it. Yeah, who's the guy in here? Oh. I mean, to be fair, Terry, pets is the main reason I do Bingo Boffin. But I mean, it's a very good story later on. I've enjoyed it particularly from Misty, but pets are the best reward.
Megovanen.
Greetings. I wish I could extend you a warmer welcome, but these are dark times for the elves. The shadow of the enemy has grown long, longer than perhaps any had thought, and the elves of Lingiliath have paid a price for our complacency.
Mind my words, traveller.
I think you can solo this. Yeah, we've got an elf stone for this. If we do this one today, which we might not. This Council of Esteldin, I wish that I could simply commit to such an endeavour, but it is not so simple. Many of my people are nearly overcome with grief and anger at what happened here, and the threats against Lingiliath are not yet dealt with. Our scouts tell me that the orcs in Nan Wathren are planning to move against us soon. The scouts say that these orcs are being led by a great Uruk of Angmar named Drukorth, who camps in the deepest parts of Nan Wathren. Perhaps this Uruk was slain, then Gileath would be protected enough to come to your council. It is a heavy burden, but I would task you with this if you remain stout of heart. The Uruk is a mighty foe, and so you should not attempt to confront him on your own. If you must, then use the strength of this elfstone to find the strength to prevail from deep within yourself. I don't really fancy going into Nan Wathren for the rest for this. That guy is difficult. I haven't done him on a Lore Master yet. Oh, at least we now have clouds for the rain. It was raining with stars earlier. Right, 2 more quests to pick up, and then we can go and kill a load of orcs.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
I have need of your assistance, Ayrthir. No way. Really? Everyone around here was saying, we don't need you! Why are you here? An orc defiler, skilled in the use of poisons, joined the ranks of the Ongsburg in southern Gileath. He has begun to poison the waters of this glade, and all will be ruined. Slay the orcs of Meranost and collect their venom pouches. I will make sure the pouches are never again used for evil purposes. While you are in the camp, put an end to the source of the vile poison once and for all by killing the Ongburg's defiler. Be careful, Ayrthir. These orcs are brutal and without mercy, and you may have need of allies. I have a cat. And then the last one. Oh, the Bog Guardian story.
Will you lend me your ear?
When the stone trolls learn that the elves have returned to Lingiliath, they are sure to attack again. There are too few of us and we cannot hold out long. There is one defence which we can call upon, but there is no certainty that those I speak of will still answer the summons. I give you these runes, Canal they are called, and ask you to lay them upon the pedestal stones found throughout the marshes. Long ago, many of these stones were set east of Gilead, in a great curve bending to the south, but only 3 have survived the ravages of time and the elements. We must hope the Guardians remember the meaning of the Canal. Return to me when you have placed all the runes, and we shall learn if the errand was for naught. Right, so what that means is, after all that, we've got a whole lot of stuff to do around Gilead. So let's go do some of it. Yeah, on the Lawmaster snake speech thing, I kind of wish that I could actually use those as pets rather than companions. You can't have a snake companion out at the same time as one you're fighting with. So, hence needing to probably pick up some actual other pets, but I'm using Bingo for that mostly. Right, so... Guardians of the Glade, yes, there's some around... Looking for little circles of sleeping bog guardians. That's a huge toad, that's not the same thing. Same colour, not the same creature. There's an enemy bog guardian, although I should be looking at it around... Ah, there they are. Sleeping bog guardians. So you put the canal on the flat stone. The bog guardians appear uninterested in the rune. To be fair, they're asleep. Right. Let's hop over to the other one. Is my cat nearby? Yes. Yes, that one's a bit more obvious. Those bog guardians are hidden under a tree. Right. Hi, Ravish. The game is definitely not dead. I think there's a lot of content. I mean, I've only been actively playing about a year and a half, and I haven't got past Moria myself. But there's a lot of activity in the game and social media, so there's a lot of people tweeting about playing LOTRO. Just ask whatever you want. There's quite a few people in the room, people who usually quite happy to answer questions. If you're on Twitter, then I run a kind of community Twitter account called LOTRO Family, and you can ask whatever you want there as well, and either myself will try and find the answer, or somebody else will get back to you. People are quite good like that. We need to just get to one more Bog Guardian bit over there, and then we'll go kill the orcs in their stone hole thing here. But yeah, thanks for coming and asking. You're not the first person to have popped into a stream and said, oh, are people still playing this? Yes, 10-year anniversary as of summer, yeah, I think. It is. It's the game I come to mostly relax to. So I play more than one game, but when I need downtime, this is one I come to. So I play about half the time now. Got it? Yes. The cat got it for me. Fab. We're going in the right direction-ish. Hi, Snee. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Could I just call you Lan? It's easier for me to get my head around. But yeah, thanks for that. I do my best to be as community-driven as possible with that. I don't always catch everyone's tweets. It's a strange way of prioritizing things now. So I don't always catch even if they use the hashtag, I don't catch everyone who tweets using LOTRO. Hashtag. What day is it? Wednesday today. No. New screenshot competition tomorrow. I should be looking at the Bog Guardians. They should be... I am being blind. Where are those Bog Guardians? You're welcome. It's not often you can say, yes, I'm glad I got you addicted to something in life, but you're totally welcome, Lieber. And I have done it mostly the F2P way, although admittedly at one point I did buy... Ah, there they are! Couldn't find them. Admittedly, I did buy something from the LOTRO store. What was it I bought? Can't remember, it was that long ago. So I became a premium account holder. That then means I had 7 character slots, which makes earning LOTRO points without actually grinding much more enjoyable, which is why I have 10 out of 11 slots used here on Evernight. The 11th slot will be used as soon as I can roll a high elf in sometime in December. I'll have 2 quandaries with my high elf. What gender do I make it? Because I think I have almost exactly 50-50 male to female characters in LOTRO. And then, what class? That's the thing. Do I try a new class? I've tried most of them, but I haven't unlocked Warden. But then people say with Warden you have to play quite a lot. So, I don't know what class I'll end up wanting to make my high elf. Anyone else in the room who has one, what did you choose? Some people chose, I think, champion, because you can sort of go in all swords wielding. And one class I could use that I don't have to unlock is captain. That some people said that might make sense of high elves being leaders of things. Excuse me. Anyone else in the room got a high elf? The Orc Defiler guy is up here, as is the Founding Stones. So, Lieber, when you were here earlier and I was collecting all the Founding Stones, this is the last one out of the 4 that you have to go on your pilgrimage to find. I really do need to keybind select nearest ally. Warden is easy, it's all button mashing. I don't know how many people would agree with you on that, but given that's how I feel like I play my Guardian, I can totally see that being the case. The face of this monument is marred by what appears to be large tooth marks, as if several man-like creatures decided to gnaw upon the stone. Nice. Though most of the writing has been destroyed, you can discern the words Ost Ardulin. Wow. At top of my foot and at the bottom, the phrase that we might retreat from our cares and take solace in judgment. Minstrel. I have 2 minstrels, but I do like it. Yes, Lan, I am also waiting for exactly that reason. Terry Adwin, what classes have you chosen for High Elf? Because it could be legitimately quite a few of them. Well-dressed killing machine. Oh, it was you with those creative names. Yes, I spotted well-dressed killing machine. I think you shared that on Twitter. Well-dressed killing machine. Great name. I was in the Old Republic yesterday, and I was just doing some dailies, and I came across a character who was called Gimme Donut. Ironically, he was a fat guy. Elf Mini is down with bears. Doubt Yelf. Grey is the shadow of... Oh, that's clever. Grey is the shadow upon my heart. Ah, that's so clever. My problem with having so many characters is I never know which one to play, and I can just imagine once I get my High Elf that I'll want to play him or her for ages. But I don't want to end it. The reason I chose to do a neglected character for my streams for a while was because I had 4 that I had basically not touched. What am I missing? I need one more orc. Oh, cat found one. How far am I off the Slayer deed? 4. Oh, stuff it. Let's go find 4 more orcs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I've for the first time I created a character with a Sundari surname, second name. That wasn't human, but I wanted her to be friendly to elves and have sort of kinship with them. I'd have to look at some of the lore behind where high elves came from, apart from deep sleep. Now that I have, for the first time, started reading Lord of the Rings... No, let me say that. It's my second time starting to read Lord of the Rings. This time I'm determined to actually succeed. Even in the intro part. Yay! I'd get just as excited about getting marks for my deeds as I do getting the LOTRO points. Yes, what I found, Liebe, is, although yes it's nice to have two characters, every time you manage to open another character slot somehow, it becomes easier and easier to earn your LOTRO points, because you can... Grinders oh, that's slightly too deep. Grinders redo the intro areas, particularly Eredwin, which is quick to do. But if you don't want to grind, which I don't and never have, then the more slots you have, the less grinding you have to do. Yeah, you have loads of characters, but it makes earning the LOTRO points more enjoyable, I think. It feels... It's not like work, then, it's just... I'll get the stuff when I've got the points. Of course, you don't have to delete any characters, you could just start a character on another server and use that one, so you can create two on every single server if you wanted to, but I'd lose track of where they all were. Hi Pew Pew. Yes, that's what I need to do, because I keep clicking it. I need to work out what my problem is, it's the multi-key thing. In my other MMO, it's actually Control 1, but Control 1 is that. So all the first row is controls. So I do really need to bind that. You're totally right. But then I've got to remember what I bound to it, so key mapping. Attack? No, that's auto attack. Oh, what's it actually called? Are they called pets in the settings? No. Oh, I'll have to look it up. I don't know what the actual official name of it in settings is.
What do you need?
The venom pouches. I take it that the Defiler was slain as well? Many lives will be saved through your efforts. I find it strange that the orcs would hunt their spider allies. They make themselves stronger at others' expense, and in the end, weakening the enemy as a whole. Such is the way of evil things, for the spiders would not hesitate to drink the blood of their orcish fellows. Such a delightful terminology. Well, you don't have to grind, Liebe. Yeah, Pew Pew, if you can tell me where the actual, what the official name of it is, that would be very handy. Muscle memory between games. Yeah, I sometimes have that. I mean, it's also I still have not braved redoing my entire UI, because my other MMO, the first line of abilities is here, and then I have two others underneath it in the middle, whereas LOTRO's default is the bottom row is your first one and you work upwards. Yeah, Liebe, you don't have to grind. That's what I chose not to do. You don't even have to buy anything particularly expensive out of the LOTRO store to make yourself premium, then you get 7. So that's why I've got so many characters. I don't like deleting them if I enjoy them, so I don't. In fact, I deleted one once, and I had to ask SSG to restore them. So I'm not deleting characters anymore. But it means you can enjoy the story, or enjoy trying a different class, or a different trait tree for a class you've done before, and earn LOTRO points, rather than the earning of the points being the end goal in it all the time. I think that I would find that very unenjoyable, whereas replaying through the regions, doing something slightly different, I find enjoyable. And you earn the points along the way.
How can I be of service?
You have done well, Ayrthir. I hope your efforts will serve as a warning to the Ongboors. They are not welcome in Melwinen, nor ever will be. This company of elves may only be temporary stewards of Lingiliath, but we shall oppose them as surely as Lachan would, were he still alive. How have I already used? Oh, it's just quest rewards. Right, I don't want to get rid of my elf stone. I'll need that for the epic. Let's loot what we can and get rid of
May I help
this.
you?
You might even, I mean, somebody in the room can correct me if I'm wrong. If you just loaded the smallest number of LOTRO points into your account, I think that might trigger premium. I could be wrong. I was premium so long, I can't remember how I got there exactly. But I think that's got to be close. Yeah, Lan, that's exactly it. And because I've got characters spread throughout Middle Earth now, if I end up with 2 or 3 characters in one region, which I have at the moment, so I've got 2 or 3 close or in the Lowlands, 2 or 3 in well, North Downs, and I've got 2 in Evandem, is that if I end up with that situation, I purposely try to play one character to get them out of that, so they spread through, so that I'm not playing the same region all the time, even if I'm playing a different character. So because there's so much content, which is awesome, you don't have to feel like you're repeating it. To be fair, I enjoy redoing the Shire and Ered Luin, even after 13 characters, which I have, 'cause I've got 2 on Crit Hollow.
What do you need?
You have placed the Canal Ayrthir, that is well, though it seems the Bog Guardians have chosen not to come to our aid. I suppose I was too eager for the old friendship between elves and Bog Guardians to be rekindled, that I was hopeful to the point of blindness. Only disappointment can come of... Wait, what is that? Look, a Bog Guardian has come, and more! I shamed myself with despair, but now I see that it is never wrong to hope. Quickly grab that quote. You have my thanks, Ayrthir. And look, there we go. The Bog Guardians have chosen to aid us. They come a marching. And then all of a sudden they ping off. It is never wrong to hope. That's something, to be fair, even I need to learn. See? Oh look, I'm going to go off now. Where am I going to? I'm going to go guard you. And if I remember right, do the others sort of cheer about them coming as well? Yeah, I think that elf there cheer. The other NPCs around actually are grateful for it too. Yeah, you lifetimers, you should have the rewards you have for being lifetime. Because you put the money in at the start, not knowing what kind of future it had. But people who have come since have been like, can I have lifetime? I'll pay up once to not have to pay ever again. Elva says, yes, any purchase in the store at all will give you premium. Can be a really tiny cost. Yeah, that's it. So, and what that means, Libra, is you get, well, it ups your gold limit. I think you can have 5 gold per character then. And you get 7 character slots, and I think you might get a few extra auction house slots as well, possibly. But that 7 character slots means you can then start 7 different styles of play, and gradually work through the content all of them. And it was doing it that way that I unlocked most of Eriador doing deeds. Yes, you spend quite a lot of time killing stuff, but that gives you more currency anyway. And then it's quite satisfying when you effectively work for the region and then unlock it and think, yeah, I put in all that effort and now I've got all this new content and even more deeds, because of course every region you unlock has deeds, so every time you unlock one you've got the possibility of earning even more with the next character, etc. So depending on your gold limit, Liber, I found when I had to move, when I didn't move to Crit Hollow, when I set up a character on Crit Hollow and thought, oh, I don't have any stuff, I need to get some basic funds in place. selling things, selling materials that I didn't need anymore on auction house was the way I quickly got up to a gold, which is enough when you're starting off. So particularly anything to do with scholar materials seem to sell quite well. For example, I don't need to do that now because I'm not short of gold on either server, but the auction house has been quite a good way of building up initial funds. Right, so by doing those other things, we still haven't done enough to deal with all the elves in this area. I bet we're going to have to go and do that epic dark guy here before the end of the stream. But let's see.
Mind my words, traveller.
5 gold, to be fair, you don't need a lot of gold. The best thing to spend gold on in the early times is when you get a reputation mount, but don't buy the Breland mount, that's not very impressive. The Lowlands mount takes time to earn but is lovely. North Downs as well is also really nice. And depending on your character, the Shire reputation mount is really beautiful. Shortcut 1 pet attack. Try to write this to chat with a slash at the beginning. What will that overwrite, Pew Pew? What key will it overwrite? Because I don't want to lose my actual 1 key. I've heard whispers amongst the trees of a stone troll chieftain of great size, called by the others Gurmagath. This Gurmagath had in his great fist a sparkling ornament that once belonged to poor Lachan. This wretched creature cannot be permitted to keep Lachan's ornament, Ayrthir. Seek out this Gurmagath and wrest Lachan's ornament from him, so that it may be kept in Len-Gileath in a place of honour. This does trigger a Slayer deed in the North Downs, Troll Slayer, which is quite hard on the hands, but this is the only place you really find trolls. Unless it's some in Doldinan. There might possibly be some trolls in Doldinan, but if you got to pick those or where we're going to go, do them in here. Tor Gonweth.
Stay a moment.
A wayward companion. When we arrived here, there was much debate concerning what should be done about the stone trolls, and many thought, as I did, that they should be driven from their fastness at Tor Gonweth. There were some of us amongst them, Agladir and Gildor, who counselled restraint. I regret the stern words I had for them, but at the time their plan to rebuild this place seemed to do Lachan's memory a disservice. My friend Lagalam believed as I, and journeyed forth to slay the stone trolls, but he has not returned. I would put my mind at ease if you could find him. Look for him in the forest of Tor Gonweth to the southeast. Let's go troll hunting. That's better than just running all the way through Nan Wathren. That would be probably a better idea, Terry Adwin. Yes. Does it permanently move it? Ah, no, it copies it. That's actually better, so I can do Alt 1. In fact, what is that ability? Looking for hidden enemies. Right, that's actually better. That's a much better solution. But thanks both of you for trying to work that through, because it means I can in fact use Control 1, which is exactly the same as my other MMO. Right, so we're going to go troll hunting. Just got to trek over to Tor Gonweth first. Where do we go in the set? There's 2 entrances to this. Yeah, that's going to work much better. It'll save me clicking. It's just trying to always reduce clicking stuff. I mean, I struggle at anyway. This is why I need to reorder. I need to have basically Brave re-sorting my UI because my hands. I'm not very good with the multiple key thing during combat. So I end up doing key presses for 0 to 1 to 0 or 1 to equals, but then clicking the second row. And that is not exactly the most efficient way of doing anything. Right, Tor Gonweth. can we get in through the north? I think we probably can. You can also change your key binding to the settings. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna have to do that, Teriadin, I think, it's just fear of change. So what I'll have to do is, with one of my hunters, reorder it, and then go hunt wolves in the Shire for no reward, just to get used to where they all are. Because in the Old Republic, I've got most things around here, which are key, the most proactive things that I'll use all the time, around here. So, and they're on the keyboard, letters around the AWSD keys, and then other ones I can click that are closer if I need to. And that has worked really well in the Old Republic, especially in sort of high speed combat scenarios. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Control 1. Welcome back, Maro. Are you two working together or just make me very... Yeah, if you can do Troll Slayer, don't bother doing it in Eldin, and if you've got 1,000 HP foes here, kill 10 trolls. I mean, you're not going to be able to do the other 2 quests without killing 10 trolls. Where's the Wayward Friend? Wayward Companion? Here. Right, okay. What time of day is it? Noon? The forest must be quite thick, I can't see anything, it's quite dark. Yeah, I don't think many people were in the room when I said I was very grateful to a kindred for dressing my Lawmaster in something a lot more comfortable. I need to work out how to dye it, because I don't like the pinky purple, but the style is so much nicer. I've had to use wardrobe for the privilege, but... Now I've just got to get out the habit of clicking the attack button. It's all about habits, isn't it? Having the habit of what you're used to doing during combat and trying to break your bad habits. I thought I controlled one, but now let's clear the way a little bit. I think this is one of those wonderful escort missions. No, it's always good to get other people's points of view on this. The difficulty with, say, the star over on the keyboard is that I've got my mouse here, which is quite large, and it has a ball on it instead of actually me moving the mouse for the sake of my hand pain. And I'd have to, well, I suppose I could attempt to use one of the extra buttons here. I might have to play around and have more than one option. But I don't mind the habit of pressing Control 1, because usually, by virtue of the fact you're telling your pet to attack, you're not already in combat. So I don't have to then control anything, really, as in Control key anything. I'm just going to clear one more, maybe 2 more trolls out of this area. Yeah, do I... then import it into characters, Teriadin. What I do need is that select nearest companion one. Oh, he's already healed, so that's fine. It's one of those things, it's the MMOs manage to create games that people can play their way and it'd be fine. You're not channeled really into you must always press these key things. It's what's comfortable for you, which I actually think is really great. Right. Get rid of this because that's just the fact that we triggered the Troll Slayer. Although I probably should have seen how many I need for Troll Slayer. It's usually less than the others. 40. It still means you need to kill off 120 of these. Right, so here's the wounded companion.
Stay a moment.
I am pleased to see a face that does not belong to a troll. Nope, I am not a troll face, in case you were wondering. I came to Torgonwith to seek vengeance on the trolls that attacked the glade of Lengiliath and murdered my fair friend Lachan. I can tell you that many of the stone trolls that attacked Lengiliath will never again leave this place. They proved a challenge, and that one was about to squash me when you arrived. You have my thanks. Let us leave this place, friends, that I might return to Lengiliath and tell my friend Saliolang the course of my vengeance. Right. As I'm already a small fellowship with my Lynx. We'll find more than a few trolls along the way. We will just stomp through these, won't we? Is he still coming this way? Sometimes the escort ones, they seem to sort of change direction partway through. You can do the Urok escort mission. The Urok changes its direction a few times when you're trying to lead him to safety. You appear haggard from our encounters. How rude. Let us rest here a moment before continuing it on. Yes, I look. Very well, let's begin again. That's like saying no, you weren't haggard. I was just talking. Talking without thinking. Oh. Bye troll. You appear cautious after our encounters. We must be fairly through now. Yeah, there we go. Because we cleared the way kind of before even coming here, it makes it a lot easier. Let him know I am well. However, we haven't done the broken ornament, have we? So, let's go back through troll territory and find this broken ornament. Every quest we do means we don't have to go back to Nan Wathren for a few more minutes. Well, as a conclusion, they should improve interface and skill effects. Depends what you mean by improve. I mean, I haven't got to War Steed myself yet. If the UI is customizable enough, then they don't really need to do an awful lot. What I could do with doing is, when I select that and I do my pet to attack thing, I can't tell in my UI whether it's been activated or not. I mean, I can see because my pet is running, but it'd be much better if I could tell. As with your own proactive abilities here, they light up around the edge. It doesn't seem to happen so much with the pet abilities. Only the pet mode. So the pet mode is dashed around here, but not the actual ability. Right, now I think do I need to go uphill for this one? Can't remember. Thanks, Terry Edwin. I'll check that out after the stream. I'm getting particularly bad at not being able to multitask at the moment, so I'll check that out afterwards, but that will help an awful lot. I just need to, during the day sometime when I'm not totally tired, brave respecking it on one and see what that does to my key binding. It would be nice to be able to use better key binding than what I'm currently doing. Keep forgetting I don't need to heal. No, this is my only Loremaster Marrow, so I'm currently on blue line. I went with what would be most relaxing, which was the least interaction from me as possible. Because I think the more people will watch me streaming, the more they'll realise how risk averse I am. So one of the things you have as a lore master is a brooch here. So I can craft my own because I'm a jeweler, but instead of going for the one that improves my companion's DPS, I go for something that means he avoids. He's got a good evade rating and has in combat morale regen. Makes them a bit more survivable in case I can't be trusted one day. Right. I don't... I think I need to up the hill. Let's try up the hill. Oh, hi Peregrine. Thanks for joining. Or Pippin, if you want to be called that. Why did you switch to red, out of curiosity? Thanks, Terry Edwin, that's really appreciated. Do not upgrade the eagle. I only have 2 eagles. I've got a bald eagle, or whatever it's actually called, Stormcrest eagle, I think, something like that. What's it called? Snowcrest eagle. I do use them sometimes in specific circumstances, so I think if I end up in an area of high volume mobs, for example, and they're fairly on level, I might actually use the eagle because it's a power regen. Hey, you threw my kitten. That's cruel. It has a power regen, and when you're facing quite a lot of mobs in one go, power can become quite a premium, so the eagle regens that a bit. Enjoy the extra AoE. Pet is weaker. I might have to. I might have to start another character and try it. Oh dear. Where is this stolen ornament? Is he? There we go. It's taken by. Let's take out the ad here before we take on, because I think the captain guy here, Gurmagath, yells things at you. Sabercat, does the Sabercat suck? It looks amazing. I haven't got high enough to be able to get Friend of Sabercats yet. Hey, you can't do that! I think you'll find I can. See, I think Gurmagath comes out with a few things here. You make a big mistake coming here, puny thing. No one will kill me. Now I'm really angry. And now I'm really dead. I mean, sorry. Blue Line often felt like I was the pet, fetching and carrying and cringing away, hiding behind my pet. Well, I just find it quite funny that my small kitten can take out these trolls. As I say, I'm purposely playing lazy Loremaster at the moment. It's not that I'm averse to playing other ways, and that's the way when I've set up other characters and I've got similar classes, I've tried to do different things. So I've got 2 guardians that are both on the yellow line, but I'm trying one. My normal guardian is sword and shield kind of person, and my new hobbit guardian is a 2-handed sword guardian, which is the first time I've tried that. So try and So how? Pew pew, just curious how one person can think that the Sabercat is not great to have as a companion, but you think it has really good DPS. Is it more to do with how it's played rather than innate suckiness or not? A lot of Lore Masters, Peregrine seem to choose the Bog Guardian. I think I just find it a bit huge. I know it's got ranged ability, but I actually like not being next, because I feel like the actual Lore Master himself, in my case, is very squishy, and so if I can keep enemies away from me, then I'm doing myself a favour. Warden getting into guest stay at Isengard. You make me want to try Warden Lab to actually unlock it. But I'm not. It's not like I'm really in a massive rush to unlock content in LOTRO, because I've already unlocked. Well, the last one I just did was Isengard, for that matter. I just did the quest pack rather than the full expansion. I am walking in the wrong direction, I think. Oh no. Well, we can just take out some more trolls while I get there gradually. That was not the button. Of course I was triggering. Wild Guardian useful for leveling 50 to 70. Why is it particularly useful at that level? I mean, I'm asking more questions than anyone else is now, but I'm just curious why a different companion would be better for particular leveling. Can I get out this way? I wasn't planning on doing the Troll Slayer. What level is your Lawmaster, Lieber? And you don't have to have a reason why. I think sometimes different pets suit different people. But where are you at with your physical? Yeah. I'm glad I've got some physical mitigation going on in my stats. By the way, Lieber, Marrow is very in favour of bears, be it 100% bear or be it Bjorning. Bears can do no wrong. I might have to try. It's one of those things, it might suit some people but not others. LM with a bear is like 1/3 of a Bjorning. Having said that, I am really enjoying my Bjornings. The self-heal just means you can take on so many more mobs. So I'm looking forward to getting my Bjornings in higher areas, just seeing how they fare. Because some of my other characters have had to use skirmish soldiers to get through some of the tougher regions. So it'd be interesting to see what I can do with my Bjorning later on. See, there's an LM with a bog. And he said bog guardian, bog lurker, bog lurker. Or are they bog guardians? They're called both because there's bog lurker slayer in Lonelands. I kind of should do a shot. Did I pick up the? That was the one oversight. I don't think I picked up the bog lurker pet for my Lawmaster at the Fall Fest, and I really should have. It's called a gourd lurker, isn't it? Yeah, no, I didn't. Just searching. No, that'd be right. To take the photo with the two lurkers, but I forgot. I meant to, but I got distracted because that's what happens. You survived the journey to Torgon with Ayrthir and lent your strength to Lagolem. He has already spoken of me of what transpired. I am grateful that you were able to find him, though he insists he could have returned to Lingiliath without any aid. Yeah, he didn't look like it.
How can I be of service?
This is Lachem's ornament. It's truly a shame that it's been broken by Gurmagat's brutish fingers. There is something odd about these markings on the back of the ornament. These scratches almost look to form letters. A-N-G. The rest is broken off, but I believe I know what it would say. And so does everybody else, because you can't get... Everything's to do with Angmar around here, right. We're nearly going to be forced to go and do that Elfstone quest, aren't we?
Stay a moment.
Oh good, okay, so this is just taking us back to Esteldin at some point. Far to the north and east, the Dunedain of the north have established a hidden encampment which they call Esteldin. These men do their best to fight the threats in the North Downs, but their numbers are now too few, and the dangers too great. If you are willing, I would go have you complete the original mission of our company. Go to Esteldin and speak with the Watch Captain Dagorus. Tell him that the Nine are abroad, pardon me, and have crossed the river. The enemy is on the move. Not Aslan. Different story. Esteldin is hidden in the mountains on the border of Kingsfell in Nanamlung. I think we've got one more, and then we have to go and do the epic back in Nan Wathren. It says angel.
Mind my words, traveller.
Yeah. That's an interesting... Yes, it is. So, this is Titan Bar. You can arrange the bits and pieces however you want. So what I have to do on each character is I have, I can see how many marks and medallions I've got. I'm not high enough to have other skirmish currencies yet. I use it to say, well, where am I at with active unfinished reputation? So I'm halfway to friend standing with Thorin's Hall. I'm partway through ally with Eglin, which is where most of my characters are. 78% up to acquaintance, and I've just added Jeweller's Guild today. So you can track reps that you're working on. It tells me how long it is until the weather changes, which is important. Not weather, day or night time changes, which means, especially if you want to grab a screenshot of, say, a sunset, you can't think, oh, I'll leave it for 5 minutes. Oh wait, too late. And LOTRO point tracker, although you have to put in your how many points you have initially when you first load Titan Bar, but then afterwards when you earn LOTRO points, it will add by deeds, it will add them up there. Because it's not linked to the LOTRO store, when you spend them you'll have to auto update that again, but it's worth it to see the figures at a point. Yes, this character has 156.7 gold. In the early stages of character building, and overall my character got 1900 gold. Not that I've got anything to spend it on, but I had started. So when I earned keys in deeds, I sold them on AH at the cheapest price compared to all the others, to build up a bank of gold. Now I use my keys and chests to find treats or whatever, and I don't think I've moved any gold around, so that probably is due to selling some crafting materials at some point, and keys. When I start a new character, usually I transfer funds through, but I haven't done that for my bear. She doesn't need it, she's got 800 silver. Okay, I won't read that quest because that takes us back into the troll area, and I don't really fancy going there. So what we'll do instead is... Where is the ruins quest keeper? Quest giver? In Esteldin. Right, okay. In which case, we do have to go into Nan Wathren. Where's that epic? Here. Yes, it is a fellowship quest. I mean, I don't ever overprice things in Auction House. I think that is just stupid. And in fact, usually when I... Oh, Shield of Arachne. That looks like one of the dwarf shields, but I'm going to save it anyway because I like using wardrobe. Maro, have you seen... I'm trying to find the actual entrance to Nan Wathren from here. I think it's up here. Have you seen my other bear? I can't remember whether you were on for when I was playing my male bear. My male bear is the one where I've got the outfit right for once. Without using fur, he just used very sort of raggedy materials. Right, no, I can't just ride through here. These are in fact green mobs. I really should have emptied my inventory before coming here. Right, I should actually be able to ride through Nan Wathren now. Oops. Azilv is the character I'm struggling to get the right outfit for. Part of me wanted something from Lelia's Market, but you have to buy the entire outfit, and I only want the head and the shoulders of it, and I've not seen equivalents anywhere else. So finding good, accessible furry armour at the levels that I've got seems quite tricky. And I already used the same piece of cosmetic on Lothar that works for him, but I can't. I use that on my Guardian as dress down gear, so I try not to reuse outfits across too many characters. Yes, Lothar is in fact on Crick Hollow. That's very true. I will pick up any silver I spot here because I need it for making white gold. The one advantage to being over-leveled, and you don't need the Orc Slayer anymore, is being able to ride through Nan Wathren. Right, Now then, I don't want to miss the trigger points somewhere around here when you are allowed to use the elf stone. There it is. And I've passed that a few times. Right, so we've... Where is my cat? Right. You don't get the health buff until you get close to the enemy. Might be better if I took my pet off aggressive. Passive, let's put so it doesn't attack everything, else we'll never get there. Bears wearing human clothing is kind of ew. Yes, but I have a problem with Bjornings wearing, given that, well, certainly from my perspective, Bjornings wouldn't want to kill bears because they're sort of kin. So I don't understand Bjornings wearing. Oh, have I taken the wrong turning? Yes, I don't understand Bjornings wearing the visage of the bear, because that's like saying, yes, I'm wearing one of my kinmates' heads. I don't understand the logic behind that, but that's just me. But the difficulty is, my highest character is level 59, almost 60 at last. Is trying to find good furry outfits for my Bjornings. So I've got from the Farmer's Fair on my male Bjorning. One of the outfits there is I've dyed it black, and I have got my male Bjorning in that, but I really struggle to dress my female Bjorning. Right. Pet of only 2,000 health. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Right. I'm going to I'm all fine with Lawmaster stuff until I'm the one that's attacked, and then I kind of freak. Right, so we can in fact just pelt it away from here now that we've finished the epic side of that. Of the stuff at Melwinen. I don't want to take forever getting back through Doldinen. Not Doldinen. Not in Doldinen. Nan Wathren. Right, so I end up spending quite a lot of time in Doldine, and it clearly gets into my head. My attitude is if bears won't attack me, I won't attack them as a Bjorning, but since they always do. It is avoidable. Sometimes I set myself challenges and say, right, I need to get through that field of bears to get to, say, because my bears are not that high level, to pick up one of the exploration deed items in Freeland. And see, can I negotiate around all the bears, not killing them? I don't have enough room to get the open. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll try and set myself, can I get through this without killing any bears or aggroing any bears? And I choose not to pick up bear quests. So, please, this says there's a little hobbit in Breland. Please, this bear stole my stuff. Please go kill a bear for me. No. I won't do that. I'm not a mercenary. And that's just showing off Marrow, but that's fine. I don't mind using the elf stone. While I don't mind some challenge, I won't purposely go out my way to make things harder on myself than they necessarily have to be. Right, so what we've managed to do here then by 9:30 is finished off 1/3 of trying to get the Council of the North, not Council of the North, trying to get the Council of Esteldin together. Excuse the way my brain works, I don't always get things in the right order. we will have managed to convince the elves that they can come and join the council. We may as well go and start the dwarf bit, but if I start to get tired I will call it a day. I mean, realistically, Marrow, probably I could have killed that guy as well with my Lawmaster because of I didn't take that much damage, and neither did the cat.
May I help you?
Bear your pet bear can smell like. I'm not taking that thought through to conclusion. Shining clothy cloth shoulder pads. Since when do you get shining shoulder pads? No, that's fine. I probably should find a shoulder piece to go with this one, but I don't want one of those really overused versions. Smell alike. Yes, a smell alike, exactly. Oh, the other thing I like about Titan Bar with the currency is you can see what have you done over today. Okay, North Downs is not exactly great money generation, if you like, but it says that I earned 1 gold, 931 silver, and none of this has been through trading, this has been through questing. I've spent 197, probably mostly in repairs, which tells you how much you're up or down for the session. So the other day I bought a rep mount. I was like, well, that's me down 5 gold by now. And then I picked up some sales, sold some trash, and basically had paid for my rep mount. I may have to check that just in case. That is something to do with family. Just give me a second. I'm expecting one home soon at least. Cool. Okay, in that case, I can at least I'll finish on time, but there's no reason not to go through to 10 now. We've made it through to 9:35.
What can I do for you?
Ah, you've done it. We heard the wails of the orcs from here. You have seen to the safety of Lynn Giliath Ayrthir, and for this you have my thanks. I craft my own stuff, so I don't need any of these. What's worth the most? 460, 354.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Here we go. With the Uruk Drukor slain, the threat of the orcs is lessened, and I am free to come to the Council of Esteldin. You should bring word to Halbarad that we shall attend him, and that we shall arrive soon. Your brave deeds may yet prove a strong foundation for our defences. So there you go. After all those quests, we have finally convinced the elves that it is worthwhile them coming to the Council of Esteldin. Yeah, Peregrine, I've actually found, I've investigated, in fact I started doing Bear Day, I wasn't calling it that, that was Mion's fault, to learn to just sort of stream Bjornings and people can learn about at the same time as I am. And others have actually found that quite helpful. It's not me actually, I'll come back to your bit in a minute, Lieber. The learning together thing works because it's not like I've got all the knowledge and therefore you must listen to me and say, oh, that's how you do that. And someone said the other day that they've learned quite a lot about it just by watching me learn about it. So it's quite a good way of doing it, streaming, because it's the interaction with other people and the fact that you are passing on what you're learning at the same time. Yes, I'm only getting one home tonight. We've all had bugs or colds at some point, and because wife has been, she had a minor operation to get rid of a huge cyst on her mouth. And so grandparents were looking after NJ. Only NJ's got a really heavy cold. She had a bit of one to start with, because I've had one for ages, so she was eventually going to get it. But apparently she's still very much full of that cold. So grandparents are going to look after for one more night, and wife will go and pick NJ up. Oh, I aggroed something, probably a spider. It's just easier to kill the spider. Oh, something I thought at when I was streaming on my own before people joined. I might have to start later next time, because from about 7:45, people suddenly started arriving and then it got really busy, which was awesome. So I might have to start later. But does anyone know if the usual fantasy weakness of spiders in Lord of the Rings, fire, is that still the case in Lord of the Rings? I know, say in Skyrim, when I used to be able to play that, spiders had less of a defense against fire damage. I don't know if that's still true. But yeah, NJ will be picked up by wifey tomorrow and returned home. Hunter, LM, Bjorning. Starts lacking my LM, play my bear more because she's awesome. Fair enough. I mean, you've got to play what you enjoy, haven't you? And play how you enjoy playing as well. How much gumph have I got in here? Yeah, I've used most of it as well. It's always bad when you think, I need to empty my bags. Oh wait, I can't really clear that much stuff. Oh, I need to melt some metal.
How may I help you today?
I have been trying to play my main, who is a hobbit hunter, or a hunter hobbit as I prefer to call it, because he doesn't hunt hobbits, in Moria, but it's so dark and it's such a long region. I'm going to move him back to Angmar soon anyway, but I've needed the variety. Excuse me, and I figure out if I don't play a character for a while, I quite miss doing so. And there's no rush to consume content, so I just play mostly how I feel like playing.
What can I do for you?
The Nine are abroad after all this time. This is fell news, for it can only mean one thing. The ring of the enemy has been found. We can only hope that the enemy himself has not already reclaimed it, or the world as we know it is at an end. I think that if this were so, our chieftain Aragorn or Elrond Half-Elven would have sent word. Thank you, Ayrthir. I will deliver this news to Halbarad, our steward in absence of Aragorn. Let's turn in the Council of Esteldin bit. I do like my female Bjornings. In fact, actually, I think what I like about Bjornings as well is the choice of you've got darker skin colours, which I quite like that option in there. Liebe, I'm not too bad. I need quiet and downtime. I love it when she's back, but my pain gets worse if I don't get quiet and downtime. So NJ's only been away a day and a half. Maybe 2 days close to, but she'll be back tomorrow morning. So it's fine. Thanks, Terry Adwin. Thanks for joining. Look after yourself. Enjoy your food. And I'll catch up with you on Twitter. I'll catch up with your DM later. Have fun. I thought I clicked it. Yes.
How can I be of service?
The message you bear is joyous. Twice over. The Uruk-Duruk is dead, and the elves have agreed to come to the council. You've done very well, for the might of the elves shall improve a lot, all the more. You shall have my thanks for this. What's that with might of the elves? I seem to have a bit of a delay going on here. Oh, it's very slight. Oh no, that was just a delay in it ticking off. Great, okay. I've never been to New Jersey, I can't really miss it. Same. Right, so... Oh, we'll finish the pilgrimage quest here, which most of you weren't around when
Silently now, darkness approaches.
Really? You made the circuit of all 5 towers? Oh, I meant to dismount. I am impressed. I had not expected you to make the attempt. Oh, she's so hopeful. We often assign novice rangers this task, as the beasts that lair in such places make such exploration dangerous indeed. Perhaps the rangers will be able to make further use of your skills in the future. Where am I at with reputation with the rangers? Still 2,500 off friend status. It takes a lot of time to get the reputation up with Esteldin. Yes, it did. Actually, Peregrine, were you not on my bear stream when we were discussing? Because you were like, why have you got a black bear and I've got a brown bear? It might have been you that was in my bear stream. But yeah, the tattoo thing being on your bear is brilliant. I think my bear just rampaged through a whole bunch of brigands the other day, and was just like, yeah, I know you think you're awesome and really strong and empowered by the enemy, but I'm just going to eat you all anyway. Welcome back, Maro. Right, so 9:45. What I might do, let's pick up the quest, because you want to pick up the one with the dwarves. Which one's the dwarves? Othricar. This one here. Oh, no, pin. Lock it. Right. Yes, the tattoo thing is particularly awesome. It's like a personalisation thing. Like your fur has been tattooed. Of course, for a lady, bionic actually means somehow your face is furrier than you'd like it to be. Right, let's get to Othricar, but I suspect it's going to be unwise at 9:45 when family will be back at 10 to do the whole quest chain, but I'll pick it up because this also leads to a fellowship quest. It's not, it's actually soloable, even fairly on level, if you have your wits about you, which means it'll be definitely soloable with me as a, oops, I'm slightly heading in the wrong direction, as a lore master. I'm going to continue playing Lore Master on Wednesdays, I think, rather than just halting around and doing whatever. I think it'd be good to actually have like Lore Master Wednesdays, and then Sundays will alternate because it's Crick Hollow Day between Bear Day and Minstrel Day. So I think, did I do Minstrel last time? No, I couldn't do Sunday. I was very, very ill on Sunday. I ended up with a stomach bug that meant my pain levels were 2 or 3 times what they should have been. Hello, Masters Dwarves. Right, this is why I thought I was like, I don't remember doing Finding Dory. Yeah, Lieber, to answer your question, ladies shouldn't have beards. It's the only thing I can think to how to explain it. Yeah, Maro, I saw you were like, great, LOTRO's down, tour sub is ended. Are you majoring now mostly on LOTRO then, or are you going to renew subs? Not that that's really my business, but I'm just curious.
Greetings.
You seek Dori? Alas, Dori has been captured by the Dower Hands. An envoy of traitors just left and said that if we did not turn over the mines to them, Dori would be killed.
Will you help me?
Oh, this is Finding Dory. Oh, let's do Finding Dory and finish it there, then. Go on then. Otherwise, it's a completely silly point to leave it. A council of the free people? How could we give a thought to a council with Dory gone? He was only with Dory's arrival and a hoard of gems he bought. That hope began to creep back into our hearts, but Dory has been captured, the gems lost, and hope is stolen away. If those men, those rangers, rangers never said in a nice way, are they? Those rangers wish to have them, the help of the dwarves of Othricar, then Dory must be freed. You, if you are the rangers' envoy, must do this if you desire our presence at this council. Dory is likely being held in the Dowerhands camp to the west of Othricar. Free Dory and escort him to safety. Once he is free, we will make our decision regarding this council of yours. Right, okay, let's find Dory. Oh no, that's fine. Bears themselves should have a furry face, but the human form, I think I've made sure my male Bionic does have facial hair. I just think that's appropriate. Ooh, is that a war steed or is that an actual? No. That is a pretty horse, and I bet you anything else, it's one of those pre-ordered ones. I need at the Yule Festival to pick up the hooves of last year's steed. I need to start thinking towards war steed stuff, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get cosmetics that I want, which means I'll have to actually grind a bit of Yule Fest. Right, so we want to go find Dory. and he is in. We can go round these hills to it. Ah, I see. Yeah, you actually, you play more games than I do. I mean, having said that, I'll be picking up a sandbox game in around Christmas time. With, basically that'll be my wife's Christmas present to me, is I'm going to start the, oh, is that one of those lootable satchels? It is. I'm going to be picking up Dragon Age Origins and starting the story of that, because it's been a game I've been wanting to look at for absolutely ages. But I didn't want to leap in at Inquisition. I wanted to actually start the story from scratch. ESO was one of those things that I looked at, but because, from what I understand, it has very similar combat mechanisms to Skyrim, it being completely, totally related, of course. I knew it wouldn't suit me, so I've seen people's screenshots out of it and it looks stunning, which you'd expect. But I can't, that combat mechanism puts me in too much pain. So that's why I like quick bar related games, because it means I don't have to swing myself around or swing my sword around. It's personal preference, but it's also dictated a little bit by my... Did I actually loot that? I don't think I did I? Oh, I did. It's dictated to by my health condition, because if I have to swish my arms and neck around a lot or whatever, then I end up in more pain. Right, let's go out on... Well, we'll try and make it going out on a high. And not accidentally kill Dori for the first time. Should be fine, because we're quite a few levels over the quest level. Right, stay with me. I want to go straight up here. Although taking out a few of these Downhounds is probably not a bad idea. Yeah, you see, PvP isn't my thing. I do occasionally PvP in the Old Republic. If I want to play a character and I can't think of what content I can do with them, or if I want to get some, you know, extra gear or whatever, then I might consider. I'm being attacked by something. I need to make my Lore Master less squishy. Not that I lost a lot of health, but... Or I need to improve my fate rating. That is my fate that's lacking a bit. Darting. I've always said a Darling Norfolk. What's Darling Norfolk? And that Dower Hand there, and then we can find Dori, but then it gets trickier. Oh wait, hang on, yeah, I've got to replenish my own health. Oh, it should have allowed me to get the inspiration bonus, and it's just vanished. Maybe that's right. Yes, Lieber, I was trying to explain
What do you need?
today just quite how awful it can get, and I'm not even an extreme case. I'm a bad case, but I'm not an extreme case. Nightland, thanks for joining. See, now I need my actual... like that, for example. Burned our hands. When I first brought here, I was taking gems are anywhere, they're back here. really be part of the fellowship stats. That would be much easier. For Arthrica! Come on, Dori, where are you going? Stop running around. I can't be more decisive if the person I'm supposed to be protecting is indecisive. Twist. Always towards the end of the stream, fingers start going in the wrong direction. But yeah, Libra, I'm not even an extreme case of fibro, and it's horrible. It's bad enough on its own, but when I pick up other bugs like I did on Sunday, I just couldn't stand the pain levels anymore. It was just awful. Right, he's got gems. Yay! We can risk our lives for a few stones. That's okay, because I got a treasure chest as well. Right, go on, cat. No, don't come back. Usually others have said Marrow if that's the case, and in past I've had to stay close. I've got to make sure I don't lose Dori. Oh, I could have turned it down if people had said it earlier. I've had to turn it down in past streams, but it's... I've turned it down a little bit, but I've got to make sure I don't lose track of what I'm doing here. I swear every time I have to slightly rebalance it. Getting distracted by game sound. Is Dori actually okay? Yes. I should have checked at the start, but because it was quite quiet at the start of the stream, there wasn't really anyone in who I knew would actually answer me. And normally I do a sound check at the start, so I will try to remember a bit more next time. Get the signature rating one. That must actually be quite confusing, Peregrine. For the long beards. We're nearly out of the camp now, at least. I will try to remember next time to do a full check with everybody. The problem is, in most areas the volume is probably fine, but like we just had the dwarf music kick in, and that sometimes comes over as too loud in my ear as well. But what I hear is not actually necessarily what anyone else is hearing. We're so close. As inelegant as the sticky gourd and other fire-related, non-magical fire-related abilities are, it is quite funny to see a group of Dower Hounds involved in a bunch of flames. Come on, it's got to be that. Got to admit, that's quite satisfying. I think my master volume is set for me personally at 50%, but then I adjust the other things for myself. But then again, what I hear in my ear here isn't what's being outputted to you. There we go, we've escorted Dori to safety. Let's turn this quest in then, and I might just be about 5 minutes later than my wife walking in, but that's fine. Yeah, it's hard for me to judge what other people are hearing, because it's not at all the same as what I am hearing. Usually when I start a stream there's 2 or 3 people in the room at the start, and so I try and ask them, then do a usual sound check. But because I've now got 2 setups, one for each of the 2 games that I stream, I can adjust my LOTRO settings without it affecting my Old Republic settings, which took me a bit of getting my head around, so I can just switch between the 2 games now without having to readjust the sounds. But I swear I've changed these volume settings different per region or per fighting style, because people hear things differently. But it does need to be comfortable for people, so if some of you come back for Sunday's stream, I will do my absolute best to do a proper sound check at the start. But yeah, I want to thank everyone before I have to sign off. Just it's been the amount of chatting going on, especially since about 8, when all of a sudden it went crazy, has been really encouraging. Thanks for making me laugh. It's been a tough week, so to have something to laugh at has been really appreciated. Along with
Did you need
help
something?
over UI, etc. So thanks for just being friends and being community, and putting up with my cold. Do I need any of these? Probably not. Let's turn this in, and then I will, in fact, sign off.
Well met!
You have done a great thing for the dwarves of Othrikar this day. Dori arrived not long before you and is resting inside, but he told us of your valiant rescue. We are at your service. Oh, it's a one-handed axe. It's a very pretty one-handed axe, but I don't need a one-handed axe. I'm looking for new two-handed axes for my Bjorning.
Will you help me?
Before he retired, I told Dori of your message about this Council of Esteldin. He recommended that we should go, and I agree with him. The dwarves shall lend their might to the council and free all of the North Downs from the clutches of the enemy. Go now and tell the rangers we shall come. Yeah, before I sign off then, yeah, you have to set it up per character, but Titan Bar is totally worth the time investment. Absolutely brilliant. And I agree with Terry Adwin that we could do with something similar to this in the Old Republic, but there's no way we're getting an API for the Old Republic, sadly. Other plugins that I use, what have I got else going on here? There are multiple different types of these, but I use Kiki Inventory for searching, so if I wanted to search all my characters for loot boxes, for example. I think I've got one somewhere. Yeah, so I've got, you can search there. There's Alt Inventory, which does a very similar thing. And yes, agree with both Libra and Terry Adwin there. That I use a plugin for wardrobe so that I can view things a lot clearer, either new items or even like if I wanted to say if that's going to be gold, as awful as that is. You can see your customizations much clearer than the tiny little default dressing room. I also really hate the equivalent one in the Old Republic, so I'm with Terry Adwin on that one. And I use, but you don't necessarily have to if you've got a spare toolbar, but pets. This is a lot more impressive on my hunter. I'll just drag this out here where you can see it easier. You can show what pets and have them as a slide out bar, saving quick bar space for them. For hunters there's travel, which means you can have all your locations in one place, but I'm currently just using the sidebar for my hunter for that. Does it? How? Where? I've been missing that one then. I mean, I've got Vault and track. Time lets you do alt inventories. Ooh. Where? If I go to Vault, what does that do? Ah, it lets you see what's in Vault. Ah. This one actually might be more useful. Ah, no. I want to find one where you can hover over and it tells you the hover text. But... oh, I'll have to have a play around with that. Definitely. Click on the bag and you can switch. See, I learn loads. Click on the bag. There. Ah. And that does work with hover. Oh, that's actually quite handy. Thank you. I swear we learn from each other on this. So if I search for orcs, one of the things that's missing is the ability, if I'm looking for an item of gear, for example, is it doesn't show me the stats. Can I preview? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be playing with this for a while, but I won't do that on stream. Awesome. Thank you. Right, in which case I think I should probably head off now. Thanks for encouragement, for hugs that have been passed through and worded encouragements. Hoping the second half of the week is better than the first, let's say. So, thanks for everyone for joining. It's been really busy. I think at one point I had nearly 15 people in the room, which is a record, actually. So thanks for turning up. However little or long you stayed, it's been really appreciated. My usual weekend streams will be happening, assuming I don't pick up another bug. And so Saturday will be Smuggler Saturday at 2 PM GMT, and Sunday will be probably Bear Day. So level 20-ish Bear taking on Old Forest Deeds and getting into the Barrow Downs, unless I feel like I don't want to spend my time playing Death, in which case I'll just switch back to Evendom, but I'll deal with that on the day. Do you want, before I sign off, Peregrine, do you want me to tell you what the plugin is I use for that? Where is plugin manager? Shift, Alt, Control P. Oh, it doesn't tell me there. Where is it? It's because it's not a plugin. It's a UI. So it's a UI, not a plugin, and that, for me at least, is, there we go. Peregrine. So my thing, and you can find this on what's it called? Where you pick up the plugins, LOTRO dash pants. What's it called? I can't remember. I use plugin compendium, so I forget. LOTRO interface, there we go. So you can use lotrointerface.com, and you're looking under user interfaces, not plugins for this. There are multiple, but I use one called BDRX. It's a skin, that's the correct word for it. Terry Adwin, yes. But it only affects the wardrobe, the dressing room. I think there are others that do it, but I've not had a problem with this one, so I've no need to switch. And then you have to check, say which size you want it. Now don't set this to be your screen resolution, else you can't use other UI items. Yeah, Terry Adwin is correct. So LOTROinterface.com. There we go. So set this to be less than your game resolution, and you can use some of your other interface items. Yeah, I use plugin compendium for installing stuff and searching for stuff. It's much easier than downloading and automatically uploading. I will have to discuss with you what you mean by that, Marrow, in a different format, but it's not something I'm averse to if I understand what you're saying. Well, in which case, Lieber, let's make Sunday Bear Day, and we'll look at some of the deeds in the Old Forest as well as the Barrow Downs, rather than just rushing to get out of those two places. And that's good to know, Terrad. I mean, I haven't changed the default skin. Fear of change is my main reason. I should probably, just out of curiosity. But hey, I need to head off. So thanks again, everybody. So it's Saturday 2 PM, Sunday 3 PM, and if I don't see you, enjoy the rest of your week. I'll have to sign off now, but thanks so much for being around. Take care, everybody. Bye.